My favorite uncles, Uncle Kenny. We would go for ice cream once a week. But then one day I didn't see him. Mom said it's best that we don't speak. But one day I looked on his Facebook and saw he was okay. He was just the same, nothing had changed except that he was gay. So if I leave as well and I damn to hell, what will my mother say? I'll be the bad influence to my family and friends and be asked to stay away. I have sought your face, I have read your words, I have tried, but I can't find you. Tried to make sense of your confusing love. I don't know what else that I can do. In the dark I feel you might not be real, but hell is waiting if I'm wrong. So I pray that your love will be enough for me. For I don't know where I'll go if not in your house. God, I don't want to miss out on you, so please don't let me down to truth. Show me you're here. I have sought your face, I have read your words, I have tried, but I can't find you. Tried to make sense of your confusing love. I don't know what else that I can do. In the dark I feel you might not be real, and hell is waiting if I'm wrong. It's what I'm so scared of. But fear's not enough for me.
Being transgender is perfectly fucking natural. Turns out science has already identified over 300 species on this planet that exist in nature that can transition genders. And I understand that there are people who might disagree with that, but to call it unnatural is scientifically inaccurate, is all I'm fucking saying. They have known since 1972 that human beings are one of those 300 species. You can Google this. Science has known since the 1970s that every single human embryo ever begins as a female embryo, which technically means that every dude in this fucking room is trans. Enjoy those fucking apples, dude. Fucking, you're trans, you're trans, you're trans, you're definitely trans. What are you laughing at, sissy boy? You're trans as fuck, dude. You're trans, you're trans, you're so trans. If you didn't have that beard on your face, I'd fuck it.
I took a hit for the team. Took a bullet for the dream that we would one day all be free. Free from prejudice, free from sexism, free from bigotry. I die for creativity. I die for freedom to be free. I died and left a legacy. Oh, but baby, I still live through technology. After the sun, oh, then comes the rain. And after the storm, the sun will start shining. What is a pain? And tears of pain. Your destiny will manifest. Yes, Bubz in the city.
Hey, yo, yo, yo. Hey, yo, 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 what's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What's going on, y'all? It's your dude, BubzDaGawd here with yet another live for you all. Hope everybody is having a pretty cool Monday, baby. Every day you wake up is some OBS, so every day that you breathe in air, despite the bullshit, be grateful because we have another opportunity to learn and to become better. Okay, so I'm glad to be here. Glad to be in the service. So one more time. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? It's the dude BubzDaGawd here. And yes, we're doing more commentary on Amir Odom. And I think I need people to understand something really quickly. Like, no shade. Once I start doing research on somebody, I become fixated in reference to trying to understand where we are as human beings, primarily in America. Okay, and yes, I'm high. Y'all already know how I get down. But y'all in for a good live. Y'all know how BubzDaGawd give it up. But I really be trying to like listen to what people be saying and what they think. And every time I do that, I be astounded. Or astonished, excuse me. I don't know if astounded was the right word, but it felt like the right word in my spirit, girl. Astonished, bewildered, okay? Confuddled, okay? Perplexed, all right? If those words work for you, okay? About how people would respond. It's just very interesting to me. But unfortunately, it's too much ignorance, too much fear being projected everywhere, and especially where we are right now as Americans, baby. We are in the fish grease. This is no longer boiling water, baby. This is fish grease. Hot as hell. Y'all know how fish grease is. Pop your ass and turn you another color, baby. Transracial in this bitch. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, but let's see what we got in the building on tonight. Baby, let's see. We got Darius in the building. What's going on? Says, I saw the thumbnail and was about to say, like, how this motherfucker wind up on my feed? Was looking for the unsubscribe button. No, it's me. Don't unsubscribe from me, though. Please don't. Glad to have you here. We got T for T in the building. What's going on, Pippin? Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to them as well on YouTube. Make sure y'all stay on the lookout for the content of the month, or content for this month. Chapter 2 of Blame It on the Dress, as well as a acting monologue. Like, I kind of want to get into my acting bag again. And I feel like emotionally I'm in a very vulnerable place, which is a good thing because I'm learning to release a lot of shit from my body and it feels good. And I feel like I can transmute that and put that into something that can be very beneficial. And one of my other avenues of activism is art. I love art, I love music, I love acting, I love creation. So that's what I'm going to do. YouTube, this is one of the avenues, but there's many different avenues to BubzDaGawd. Okay, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. Make sure y'all hit that like button because it helps the channel to grow in the algorithms. We are doing pretty good as far as subscribers. It's like every day or every other day, there's like 1 to 2 extra subscribers that are coming through. And I love the extras, okay? Please make sure y'all share my content if y'all can. That's how we continue to grow the BubzDaGawd brand, the universe, the Bubzverse, if you will. If you feel compelled that you would like to donate to the Bubzverse, baby, you definitely can by hitting that Cash App, $Conscious TV. That's CONSCIOUZ TV, okay? And just put in the message, this is for BubzDaGawd, okay? No shade. Everybody going through something. We all going through something, but we still got to make it work. No shade, okay? And if there's anything that I say in my commentary, whether it's this live or whether it's another live or another video or whatever content, it don't have to even be about Amir. It can be about anything. You can use any of my content, okay? All of my content on my platform for you to agree with, disagree with. If you want to read, roast, shade the fuck out of me, I don't care. This is YouTube. It's a public platform. I think if we're going to put ourselves up here on these platforms to have conversations, I think we need to like remember that. So I'm not exempt. So again, if you disagree with what I'm saying or whatever the case may be, I give you permission to use my content. The only thing that I ask, okay, is that you at least tag me in it so that I know that it's real, baby. Because one thing about BubzDaGawd, I'm going to respond. I may not respond in the way you think I'm going to respond or how you believe I should respond, but I'm going to respond accordingly, okay? Look at my motherfucking teacher girl. Nigga out here winning every day, bitch. Start following people who are winning every day, bitch. Even when they lose, girl, they turn that L and transmute it into a W, okay? We got King Deshaun in the building. What's going on, pimpin'? Baby, I know Deshaun mad at me because Deshaun been trying to call me and shit like that and message me and stuff. And listen, to those of you that have been messaging me, y'all gonna have to forgive me. I be telling y'all, girl, I don't really be checking my messages like that unless it's something incredibly urgent. I got so many other things going on, baby. The shit I do on YouTube, I do offline. I talk to people every day. I'm low-key a therapist, no shade. Okay? And baby, I'm trying to learn how to balance my activism and low-key my career with my personal life and then with people that are part of my inner circle. So it's gonna take me a minute. So please charge it to my head and not my heart. I don't hate y'all. I don't think nothing wrong with y'all. It's gonna take me a minute to respond, baby. I'm already short. I am delayed in stature. I'm gonna be delayed in other ways, baby, because I'm putting more energy into other shit, baby. No shade. In a damn minute, they're gonna be looking at all of our damn DMs, baby, and start picking us all out one by one. No shade. Okay? But make sure y'all go over and subscribe to Deshaun as well. Deshaun, I didn't know you went live. I was so upset. I'm like, damn, I missed this live. But now that I'm subscribed and you go live, I'm going to try my best to come through. No shade. Because YouTube is, baby, I love YouTube. Now, if something happened to YouTube, it's going to be a motherfucking problem. No shade. I'm going to feel some type of way if something happened to YouTube. But I'm definitely going to catch your lives. And we also have to, like, plan a panel discussion over there. And I would love to see how you run your house. Okay, I would love to see what you like when you in positions of power. You can mute motherfuckers and tell them to be quiet and hold on, let me talk. I would love to see what that look like. No shade. But before we get into this live, y'all know we gotta always do the right thing. I'm gonna see if I can remember this shit by heart. Damn it. Boom. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit educational or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. All the videos, songs, images, and graphics used in this live belong to their respective owners, and BubzDaGawd does not claim any right over them. I said that shit verbatim. Okay, baby, no shade. But anyway, girl, because of where we are, and because when I start doing research on people, and if you look at what I've done in the past, baby, I stay on it because I want an engagement. And I'm not talking about no negative ass engagement. I'm not talking about, oh, I'm gonna get clicks, I'm gonna get views, I'm gonna get clout. Because when I actually do talk to these people, it don't even go nowhere as far as the views. I be really trying to understand where the fuck they coming from and where their humanity is. And no shade. After my last exchange with another conservative person, shout out to them though. They cool now. But Ron Vulgata, shout out to Ron. Okay? Ron Vulgata, a real ass nigga. Even though he did not understand what nigga meant. But he understands now. Okay? But shout out to him. Because he was doing exactly what Amir is doing. Becoming a black conservative who was inspired by Candace Edgeless Owens. Okay? And all these other conservative people who have fallen from grace, girl. They're falling. They can't get up, baby. The knee is gone. Okay? There is no equilibrium, bitch. They moving, it's gone. No shade. But, okay, girl, let me shut up. Because y'all know I'm going to give y'all a good live, baby. I've been waiting to talk. I've been waiting to say some shit, girl. I've been watching videos and shit, and it's like, oh, girl, there's so much deeper shit going on, girl, and we getting stuck on elementary shit. We getting stuck on humanity shit. We are ignoring all this other shit that's happening around us, girl. That's objectively affecting all of us. And we're choosing the same fucking scapegoats we've always chosen time and time and time and time again. And the thing that I'm glad about in reference to living in this age is that not everything is recorded. Which means nothing is no longer hidden. Everything is being exposed. So when you were being lied to as a child to keep your ass indoctrinated, the motherfucking truth is now coming out. And y'all can't handle that. And because we have supercomputers in our phones, and some of us decide to use that connection, that experience, or that reality, or shall I say that blessing or curse, however you use it, girl, to be able to educate yourself about the world and to realize that you're not the only one that owns reality, boo. The only reality you own is your own reality. I own the reality of Bubs. I don't own any of y'all reality. But y'all not finna encroach on my reality either in a disrespectful ass and ignorant ass way and expect me not to say anything about it. Are you kidding me? So we're gonna get into the conversations. Y'all know on BubzDaGawd we be around the world. And bitch, we be all around the world, but we always make it back. Like Beyonce said, girl, find your way back. Big world, but you got it, baby. And I might be a short nigga, girl, but my mind and my heart and other pieces of me is big too, girl. And I'm gonna let my little light shine like Tina Turner when she was a child in that damn thing. You know my Jesus told me I need it today. Girl, do you need it today? Because I need that. Anyway, let me shut the hell up. We got Queen Spice in the building. What's going on, Queen? Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here, baby. No shade. Anyway, let me change my music up. Yes. I feel very ethnic with this music. I feel very community with this music. Anyway, let me shut the hell up and let's get into the video.
My name is Amir, and in this video, we'll be reacting to a bunch of insane, woke, like LGBTQ and liberal TikToks because, well, some of these clips are insane and you guys have been sending them to me, so we're just gonna react right here, right now. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe, and I'm not gonna waste your time. Let's get right into this video.
Trans women also get periods.
Really?
Yes.
You get a period?
Yes. I get monthly cycles.
You get monthly cycles?
Yep.
So the lining of your uterine wall is falling apart and draining.
That's
your uterine wall.
See, this is the fun part. Due to not having a uterus, the weird part is I still get the cramps.
It is sad when I see people like this and they're responding to these questions because you have to understand that person in the yellow, they're dead ass. Like, they genuinely believe what they're saying and they think that that's real. And I do think that in large part, it is because of mental illness. And we're not going to come to agreement if we can't have the same definitions and if we're just not operating from the same reality. We're gonna see what this person has to say, but off the bat, I want there to be a middle ground. I want us to come to a consensus where this comes to an end, and it is. I feel like it is, but to a certain point, the people that the person in the yellow is surrounded by, would just keep egging on this false ideology and this false belief that they're getting a period just because they're trans. It's not right. It's sad. It's like, you can laugh. Some people think it's funny, but like, this is genuinely sad.
It's an actual
You don't think
period.
so?
Yeah, I got
have
the
a period.
full-on like emotional cycles and everything.
Yeah, but you're saying you have a period though.
I do. Yes.
But you don't have any blood leaving you. There's no thinning of the uterine lining, which
True.
is what a period is. And some of the results of a period are cramping.
Yes.
So you have similar symptoms to a
get-
period,
yeah.
but you don't have a period at all. You have no period because you're a man.
I think that's the good point, and that's the point that we need to harp on and say, okay, hey, here's the middle ground then. You may exhibit some symptoms of what you think is a period, like cramps or headache or whatever it may be, but for an actual period to be a thing, you have to have a uterus, and you don't have a uterus if you don't have periods. Full stop. Large part, I do think it is mental illness. It is sad. We've seen some trans people talk about how they have periods and they turn trans, like, oh my gosh, I'm cramping, I'm on my period.
Trans women experience menstrual cycles.
Do trans girls get periods? They definitely do.
You're a grown man, dog. With all due respect, you are a grown biological male. Acting like this. This is how free we are in this country. This is how bored we are in this country. So bored that people are like, yep, I have a period now, like I'm trans, this and that. Bro, there's people getting bombed and they're dying overseas. There's people risking their lives fleeing to this country, breaking in here illegally so they can live their best life. And here you are, just, I have a period, I'm a man. What are we doing? Guys, what are we doing? This is the result of being surrounded by fake friends, fake individuals. Like, you need some people to call you out in your life. You do. You need real friends to call you out and keep you grounded and keep you rooted in not losing your mind. Again, as a trans adult, I mean, I have no problem with them. I'm friends with trans adults, but personally, I'm like, okay, you're just a very flamboyant man or a very masculine woman. At the end of the day, like, I'm just referring to biological sex, but I respect you. But there's lines to that. If my trans friend that's male to female starts talking about, oh my gosh, my period, whoa, I'm gonna need you to pump the brakes, because this is not what's happening right now.
I don't like to say trans people.
Don't tell me to wait before I lit that bitch up. Anyway, let me go back a little bit. So, here's the thing. Let me cut this music down a little bit, so. Let me cut this music down a little bit, so. Girl, what? Words with Bubs. Hashtag words with Bubs. Okay? Here's the thing. The issue, and I think Amir felt like he kind of like ate it up a little bit with this. Like, he kind of felt like, girl, I know I gave what needed to be gave. Well, girl, I'm getting a little laggy. Let me go do this instead. Yeah, I'm about to be small, y'all. No shade. That's the only way it's gonna work. Here it is. Amir ended up getting clips sent to him. He didn't search these clips out. He the one that is subscribed to Ground News that's supposed to give him all the tea, the complete scope, the complete geography of where we are politically in this country, right? He did not go out and find these clips. He didn't find articles from Ground News and be like, oh, let me clip this article. Let me search this article up and find the video evidence, and to be able to see, like, here you go, dirty, demonic ass, crazy ass, mentally unstable ass, and unstable ass, dibs, libs, dibs, girl, dobus, all that type of shit, girl. Let me show y'all. Let me prove it to y'all. No, these are things that his supporters sent them or sent him. And he starts off with this one as far as a representation of trans people. And the problem is the party that you support and that supports you believes in this broad generalization of what trans people are. I'm over here talking and my shit is already being lit out, snuffing itself out. So let me stop and put it down. That's probably a sign the girl just talk. Okay, no shade. Let the herb do what the herb gonna do. They end up believing that all trans people are like that. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. This trans person, trans woman, said that she experiences periods. Trans people at large, understand that the shedding of the uterine wall lining, girl, that is very painful, that is very hormonal, girl. And even after that, you end up with menopause to where you're hot and you're cold at the same damn time and can't win, girl. Okay? I watch content creators, girl, who talk about going through the process that biological females go through. Trans women will not be able to experience everything that a biological female experiences. T.S. Madison has explicitly stated that. Hope Giselle has explicitly stated that. Angelica Ross has explicitly established that. Other trans people have explicitly stated that they believe and know and understand, girl, and have an inner, over, under, round understanding, girl, that they are not biologically female. They are a trans woman because they show up in the societal construct. They show up with their secondary sex characteristics, as Amir was discussing with Mason, okay, in the what is a woman video debate, whatever that was. But here it is. You start off with this trans stuff. And to your point, somebody in the comments, I think it was T for T stated, what's his obsession with trans? That's the new scapegoat. They can't really do it on the gays for real because the gays have proven themselves worthy, girl. Even though they hate us and are still fearing us. We have solidified ourselves in a way that we have also been able to influence the culture. Baby, maybe that's what my next video essay is going to be about. The queer culture and the black church. Because the black church be saying all type of queer lingo, be saying clock it with the wrong finger, not even the middle finger, but with the index finger, girl. Clock it, clock it. Getting their hair done, their makeup done, their fashions done, the photography, the singing, all the works to bring it all together. The homosexuals, the fagates, the bundles of sticks, the trainees, okay, the lesbians, everybody that contributed to keeping the system up and alive and somewhat healthy, but will demonize those same people. But they need trans because trans is the smaller community. And then when we talk about non-binary, that community becomes smaller. And there's already queer people like Amir who want to distance themselves from the motherfucking TQI+, not realizing that those individuals were also the ones that helped to lay down the foundation for queer people like me and Amir to have the rights that we have right now for as long as we have them right now. Now, let's talk about that trans person. You know what that trans person online, unfortunately, would be identified as? They would be identified as what is known as a lol cow. LOLCOW. A lol cow. A lol cow is unfortunately cyberbullying. But they also get paid to cyberbully these people. If you look up people like Chris Chan, now known as Christine Chan, who is trans. If you look up Cyrax, if you look up Boogie2988, if you look up Wings of Redemption. See, I watch all type of shit on YouTube. Baby, when I tell you I'm open-minded, I'm open-minded. The internet does that to you. It exposes you to the actual real world. It bursts your fucking bubble that some of y'all are so desperate to fucking protect. But those individuals are made fun of, are demonized, are ostracized. That individual will be considered a low-cow. And not only that, no shade. Those are part of the group of the weird people. We've had groups of weird people in every period of our life. When we were children, there was the weird kids. When we were in middle school, those were the weird kids. When we were in high school, those were the weird kids. As adults, they're the weird adults now who were once weird kids. Who also, because of their intellect, because of their skills, because of their gifts, because of their talents, was able to allow them to get into spaces that you believe that they shouldn't be in anyway, because they are the weird kids. And no shade, because I grew up being the weird kid, because I was gay, and then being able to have the same privilege that Amir did as far as going to a predominantly white high school, being around the weird people, and the weird people were the realest people in the world because they ain't give a fuck. That's how they live their life. I can understand if they walking past and motherfuckers season up and shit, feeling like they turn into a damn zombie and shit. Because the weird people near me, but it's usually the weird people that are demonized, that are ostracized, that are made fun of. And let's say what this trans woman has is mental illness. Well, I'm grateful to know that there are trans women in the world who may have been where she was, or is able to understand something that maybe she hasn't understood yet, because again, like Amir stated, we're always changing, we're always evolving, right? So maybe a trans person can come into their life to be able to have a greater in-depth conversation and be able to reach them where so many other people are failing to. Okay? And lastly, even from a spiritual perspective, you ever heard of reincarnation? You ever heard of other people being able to recount past lives? We think we know so fucking much about life, and we don't. Because a lot of people struggle to figure out what the hell is going on in their own life. But you can figure out everything else. So there are ways to be able to coexist with people like her. The first thing that we can figure out is, damn, is she objectively harming me? Objectively mean, am I objectively being harmed? Am I being threatened? Is something fucking me up? I don't know. We need to, once we start seeing objective harm, then we can speak on that. But it's too much of this fear and ignorance of what it might be and all this other type of stuff. And oh my God. And let's say like, and let's take it in this context. Let's say it is mocking women. And this is the part that I think y'all really don't want to talk about, but I feel like y'all low-key forcing people to get into. And I don't think you really want to do that. There comes a point in time where when you fuck with people, they get to a certain point to where it's like, okay, girl, I'm about to just play your game the way you play the game. I'm just about to do what the fuck you doing to me back and give you a mirror experience. But then once you start doing that, then all of a sudden it's a problem, it's an issue, it's a concern. No, it's not. This is exactly what the fuck it's gonna be, since you telling me it's what's gonna be for me. If homegirl feel like she got damn cramps and periods, bitch, and girl, take some Midol and go lay down. Eat a Snickers and lie down. Okay? And girl, if it keeps being consistent, you might want to go to the doctor for that, girl. But how is what this trans woman is doing, how is that taking away from your womanhood? And that's the real conversation that I wish more women, biological women to be exact, would have that conversation. But the fear is there, which is why we end up in these conversations. Because we start putting up people to be champions for us, and we see exactly what the fuck is happening. The DL Whisperer was a champion for insecure women, and those same insecure women got his ass laid into jail. Okay, where hopefully he can get his plaques done the right way from another punk sissy in the clink clink. And again, we see all these other black people who supported the right literally being cut off from the right, trimming the excess fat because that fat has been utilized for its purpose, and now it's time to get rid of it. And baby, I thought that Amir would have a level of understanding. But then as I continue to listen to this video, baby, you can feel the snarkiness come out of him, girl. And I think T for T said in the comments that he did 2 lives. So maybe I'm going to have to check that out, because I think he's probably getting some heat from his commentary now. And a part of me feels like maybe my video essay may have a reason in that, baby, because I clocked in my continuous commentary. I've clocked in one thing that BubzDaGawd has been able to do, which is very interesting, is that 9 times out of 10, when I tag people, they watch my content. So as he continues with his commentary, baby, he gonna start doing some things that's different. He gonna start cussing a little more. I said, oh, okay, we cussing. Okay. Shoot, okay, cool, we cussing. Let's get it, baby. Then when it gets to one part, especially for the black people, I said, oh, baby, he wants all the smoke. He wants all the smoke, girl. He's been very, very strategic, girl, putting up videos about why you don't feel black enough, girl, to shut the black niggas up. Girl, the crazy queer people telling me, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at, girl? And you got to have people send it to you. It could be one thing if you were searching for these, but you got your people sending you stuff, talking about where is it at. But then when we ask y'all to say, where is it at? Your followers struggle with that too. So what's the fucking problem? Oh, you said Deshaun did. Okay, my bad. I thought Amir did. My bad. I stand corrected, girl. I am a little high. So y'all please forgive me. And no shade. Another thing that we need to do is, girl, if we wrong, just say you wrong in the moment and acknowledge it. I'm not perfect. Neither is Amir. We all have room for improvements. But I do stand by what I said in reference to the snarkiness, girl. Because the way you was talking in this live, I said, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Or shall I say talking in this video that's being played on this live, shall I say. Anyway, let's continue.
Whoa, I'm gonna need you to pump the brakes because this is not what's happening right now.
I don't.
So, since he brought that clip up, again, that was a clip, again, from my perspective, my research, what I'm seeing, and also what I've objectively seen, and is still saying, unfortunately, is that trans people are yet again the topic of conversation. And in this clip, this trans individual is going to speak about the possibility. Again, putting the possibility out there, saying it's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It want to be a coincidence, but it looks like it's not a coincidence as far as what happened in Minnesota in reference to a Minnesota school threatening to have its funding removed because of a trans athlete on a sports team. Even though in Minnesota, ICE unalived people. And we saw it in 1080p, 2K, 4K. We seen it. So I want you to hear what they have to say. Because again, if we're going to focus on this issue of this trans person saying that they have periods, as if though every trans person is stating that they have periods, as far as trans women is concerned, okay, well, it seemed like you thought that you ate and you thought that you checked the queer people's blind spot. So that's why the live is set up the way that it's set up. Allow me to check your blind spot. So let's talk about this real quick.
I don't like to say trans people being targeted is a distraction because it has very serious consequences. But I do think it's important for people to look at when it is deployed by this administration. So as one example, in Minneapolis, after Alex Pretty's murder and after there starts to be widespread backlash in the public discourse to the way in which ICE officers and CBP officers are terrorizing people in their communities, what does the Trump administration do? It threatens education funding to the state of Minnesota because they let one trans girl play on a softball team in high school. So they threaten to defund the entire one. And so it's like they're like, look, we have a problem with our immigration policy. Look over here. We actually look. Everyone hates trans people. Let's go back to that. We're gonna threaten Minnesota because they had one trans softball player. Like, these things are happening and they are connected.
All right, and no shade, since Amir and what he said with Mason in that video was like, oh, well, one's enough. One's enough. Just one is just one too much. Okay, then, girl. Well, technically speaking, using your perspective, let's continue with that. And we just use this as an example to how it was one trans athlete on a softball team and the funding for the school was threatened. Even though ICE unalive somebody. And then people say, well, I wouldn't put that together. That seems like that's too far-fetched. Oh, you're reaching. Oh, you're moving the goalposts. No. If y'all gonna focus on the most minute-ish, but yet struggle to focus on the most incredible Maximus. I'm about to say Maximus Gluteus, girl. Maximus, the ultimate, the advanced, the biggest, the elephant in the room, the orange, peachy elephant in the room. In reference to what's happening under this current administration, and yet Amir and others like him are, like I said, Stevie Wonder to the ish, Ray Charles to the ish, Helen Keller to the ish. They can't see. And the sad part about this is that trans people have been losing their lives, and unfortunately, they're probably going to lose their lives at a very alarming rate during this administration. And if you don't believe me, you can subscribe to J Inclusive, because unlike Ground News. J Inclusive gonna be able to get that real work in reference to what happens to the community, especially when it's the black community, Amir. Where no shade, even though you may culturally feel like you're not part of the black community because of your skin. Unfortunately, my ninja, you's a nigga. No shade. But anyway, let's continue with more of his commentary.
Hello, my name is Bridget Bandit, and I'm speaking in opposition to SB 18. I'm a born and raised Texan and full-time drag queen. Previously, I've worked with children throughout my life as a swim instructor, teaching summer art camps, hosting children's birthday parties, and volunteering in my church as a youth group leader.
Those are all fine and appropriate.
Okay, cool. He said that's fine and appropriate. Again, this drag queen has already been around children. Has been in experiences dealing with children, talking to them, communicating with them, working with them, guarding them, guiding them, whatever the case may be, in multiple areas. But because this person is bold enough to admit that, girl, they're also a drag queen, and then showed up in drag because for some reason, your side does not know the difference between a trans woman and a drag queen and believe they're the same fucking thing. But because of how they look, it's a problem and an issue. And again, Amir says, hey, you the drag queen, right? The one that only does drag queens in sexual spaces only, right? Allegedly speaking, societally speaking, and for a lot of motherfuckers, ignorantly speaking. But yet you're around children. And one of the biggest issues with the queer community at large is that they don't want the children around it. So here it is, this queer man was a part of it. So they don't even want teachers in the school that are queer. But meanwhile, this queer person is openly stating that they also do drag. And Amir says, you did all these other things in the past. That's cool. That's fine. What else do you have to say? And let's listen to what or where Amir has the problem or the moment at. And I'm sure he'll let y'all know.
Youth leader, cool. Church,
Oh yes. Let me get off the screen, girl, because I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this. Now I want y'all to look at the names on the screen. Let me move my banner out the way. Look at the names on the screen. In my church
as a youth group leader.
Those are all fine and appropriate. Youth leader, cool.
Dustin Spillers, a convicted felon of actually assaulting, actually abusing minors. Okay, a youth leader. Okay.
Cool. Church, the camp, cool.
Camp advisor, Coleman Leonard. Okay, convicted felon, charged with actual abuse, okay? An actual assault against a minor.
Cool. Swimming lessons.
Swimming instructor, John Michael Bieber, not Justin, girl. Okay? Convicted, okay, of actual assault, actual abuse of a minor. And guess what, Amir?
Cool. Especially if you're in the right attire.
Especially if you're in the right attire. So it's okay for you to be a youth leader. Come back on screen, bitch. It's okay for you to be a youth leader. It's okay for you to be a camp or a counselor at a camp or advisor at a camp, girl. It's okay for you to be a swimming instructor. As long as you're in the right attire. And here it is, John Michael Bieber is being processed, girl, in the right attire. Let me explain something to you. If somebody wanted to really assault your child in that way, why the fuck would... Think about it. You might, unless you think that trans people are just dumb ass, home alone criminals. But they ain't got no damn sense. If they were trying to abuse children, why would they dress up publicly in a way that would draw attention to them. Wouldn't that sit up there and cause more harm for them? And then on top of that, wouldn't it be overwhelming amounts of evidence of drag queens sitting here literally abusing the children? I mean, John Wayne Gacy was a clown, but he also dressed in the right attire. All those men dressed in the right attire and was able to assault children, my ninja. But because this person is coming out as a drag queen publicly, and again, showing children that there is more to the world than what your ignorant ass, fear-based ass family, friends, community believes about other people's lives. Because at the end of the day, my ninjas, my winjas, or whoever you are, eventually you're going to go out into the world and experience people. And you going to do yourself a great disservice because you could be cutting off possible best friends, possible relationships, possible whatever the case may be, any sort of enhancement to your life because of what you believe about people. But let's continue, girl, because obviously, because this individual's a drag queen, girl, it's some actual stuff that's supposed to be happening.
For each.
What's going on, Aries? Hey. And just to let you know, Aries, we just listened to Amir admit that in the past with this drag queen, the drag queen was a youth leader, was a camp advisor, and was a swimming coach or whatever. But because they do drag and want to read to children while in drag, now it's a problem and issue. And I just wanted to let you know, because when you come in sometimes you want to know what's going on, and I got to do better at doing that. So I just wanted to let you know that. But anyway, let's continue with the commentary.
What do you have to say?
Today, I occasionally host drag queen story times. These kinds of events don't differ much from the kind of work I did before, yet this bill would impact my ability to work with children simply based on a subjective and ill-defined expectation of how I should look.
Good. What's the point of being in drag in front of a child? Where is your drag queen job at? When you are performing in drag, where's the job at?
Let's pause. Let's pause real quick, girl. It says family-friendly drag events are widespread across the U.S., often hosted in public. I can't see that word. Let me look on my phone, other phone. Public institutions, restaurants, and theaters that prioritize an inclusive atmosphere. These events typically feature clean performances. Keyword clean performance. The children are around. Just like how the parents be doing that freak nasty stuff in the middle of the damn night. And yes, it's my nuts clapping against my thighs because I'm free balling right now, girl. But when their kids come around, they know how to clean it up. They know how to code switch. They already know. So drag queens do that as well. Again, feature clean performances focusing on high energy dance, storytelling, and colorful costumes, okay? Now, here's the educational and community spaces where drag queens also are. Because again, Amir is going to give you his #1 answer of where drag queens are and where they belong, despite what drag queens actually do. Okay, no shade. Let me turn it this way so I can see it. That's better. Okay, so again, public libraries. All right. Many libraries host drag story hour to promote literacy and diversity. A lot of y'all kids can't even read. Barney tried to help him and he failed. Okay. Tatiana tried to help him and they failed, girl. Snow White tried to help him and they failed, girl. Between the Lions, girl, has tried to help him and they failed. So they're using another imaginary thing to help him, girl. No shade. Notable examples include the West Hollywood Library in California, and the Hoboken Public Library in New Jersey. You then have museums and theaters. High-profile cultural venues often hold all ages drag programming. For instance, the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures in Los Angeles hosts story hours, and the Chicago Children's Theater features seasonal drag storytime events. Let me make myself invisible, girl, so I can read this last part. Community centers, okay? Places like the Adams Morgan's Community Center in Washington, D.C. serve as hubs for families to attend drag-led reading programs. Let's continue further, shall we? Boom. Dining and interactive venues, okay? Themed all, I'm gonna say images, girl. My mind is racing too fast. Themed all ages brunches. Now, while many brunches are 21 and over, mainly because they serve alcohol, certain venues, specifically what? Cater to families. We have Hamburger Mary's, multiple locations including in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and West Hollywood, California, and Lips in NYC are known for hosting kid-friendly daytime shows. You also have dedicated family organizations, okay? Nonprofits like Rose Dynasty in Florida organize monthly drag brunches and weekly bingo, specifically designed to be safe, accessible, and cuss-free for children. I'll give you a story real quick before I read the last example real quick. No shade. When I used to live in Michigan, there was a bar that I would go to that I did not know that was very historical, no shade. It was called Gigi's. And every Friday, there was a drag queen that would perform that I would absolutely love. Their name is Sabin. S-A-B-I-N. Bald head, white drag queen, but the bitch moved like she black. Okay? And baby, I love cuss words, girl. I have very dark humor. Okay, I love dark humor. That's one of my like things I really don't tell it a lot of people about. And I try not to let people like put me in a certain place to where I feel like I have to go to that point. Cause girl, I've been to hell before, bitch. I wouldn't mind taking you, girl. Just like at motherfucking Planet Fitness, girl, with the black card, girl. Let me come work out with me in hell, bitch. Come on, let me see what you can do, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, she is one of the most popular drag queens in the Michigan, not just Detroit, but Michigan area. Whenever there were big Pride events during Pride Month, guess what? She most likely would be headlining it. And when she is out there in those spaces where mothers and fathers and parents and grandmas and uncles and family members and friends are walking around with strollers with their children in the strollers and stuff like that, yeah, she knows how to clean it up. She knows how to make it PG. Again, these people are exposing them to different aspects of life, saying, hey, you may be this, but if you're not this, you're going to meet people in the world who are going to be this. And you should be able to judge them by the content of their character, not from a very shallow perspective or binary that a lot of people even struggle to stay in them damn selves. But then you have the last part here that says, activity centers. Venues like Lark in Chicago host high-energy themed brunches with tableside interaction suitable for general audiences. And I think I have one more here. And then public squares and outdoor festivals. Okay. Town squares. Girl, this word was going to take me out, girl. Municipalities, girl. Municipality. Girl, that word, girl, my tongue not working right now, girl. Often include drag in public celebrations. Example, include drag story hours in Betsy Patterson Square in Mansfield, and pride dance parties in Lord, let me look at my phone instead of at the screen, girl. And pride dance parties at Old Town Hall in Fairfax, okay? And then you have family pride festivals. Large-scale events like the World Pride Family Fun Festival in Washington, D.C. offer dedicated family zones with drag, story times, and performances. And then on top of that, Amir, my ninja, like I said, wasn't your ass supposed to be getting with the other people who were going to exclude themselves from the from the TQI+ and create your own family-friendly pride event? I think that this will be the motherfucking time. Instead of you infiltrating one of the wildest, most grand, most freakiest, most pet fetish ass pride event of all, girl, which wasn't even real. It was somewhere close to you, girl. You was lazy. You ain't even go travel to one of the places where a lot of people say it's happening at, girl. You won't even go in for yourself. But yet y'all did not create at all a family friendly pride event like y'all stated y'all was gonna do. And my thing is, if you gonna sit up here and speak as a person who claims to be rational and to be sane on the right side of history, I'm gonna need for you to start producing what it is, the change that you want to see, my ninja. Because again, your supporters ain't doing it. I'm gonna need for you to use your own willpower, my ninja, and do your own research to be able to study to show thyself approved. And I'm afraid that you're not gonna do that, because if you were to really do that, you would lose your support. Oh my God, lose your support from PragerU and everybody that has lifted your ass up. Because we can look at the comments now and read for days, and the majority of people are going to believe the fear-based, ignorant perspectives about queer people. And you give them the shield, the excuse, the loophole. You give them the opportunity to do it. And then you feel some type of way when you deal with the brunt of it. I mean, that's what the fuck happens with shields. Shields supposed to deal with all the brunt. Can you ease the pain, my ninja?
Okay, cool. We're all on the same page. It's in the club. It's in the gay club. Cool. Your main career, your full-time gig,
that's the only place,
is in a gay club. Now, in order to get in this building, to see what you are doing, where 9 times out of 10 you're revealing more clothes and getting thrown dollar bills on stage, you need to do what? Show an ID at the door. Why? Because you got to be of age to go see you do your damn job. At this point, you're equivalent to a damn stripper. There's no point in you being in front of children.
First of all, girl, strippers take the clothes all the way off. They showing titties, ass, and pussy. That's what strip do. They actually get nude. I've been to the gay club, especially Gigi's, multiple times. I have rarely seen anyone pull their dick out. Now, they might show a little booty, but then again, it's in those spaces. But one thing I do remember is that there were not children in those spaces, and mainly is the reason why there were no children in those spaces is because, as it says on the screen, girl, alcohol is the primary reason for a bar to have 21 and up. It's the alcohol. And we're going to get into why. Okay? Now, it reads on the motherfucking screen. Let me move myself out the damn way. No shade. While alcohol is the primary reason, a 21 plus restriction is often a choice made by venue owners to manage legal risks and business costs rather than a strict federal requirement for entry. Let's continue to read. Liquor license protection. Venues face massive fines, sometimes $5,000 plus per incident, and the potential loss of their liquor license if an underage person is caught drinking on the premises. So again, one of the reasons, or the primary reason, why in those spaces, even in the strip club, girl, it needs to be 21 and up, is because if it was just nudity, girl, it would be 18 and up, not 21. Because when you go onto those porno sites, it says 18 and up, not 21 and up. No shade. But because of it being alcohol, that's where the 21 and plus comes from. Again, liability simplification. It is easier and cheaper for owners to restrict entry to 21 plus than to pay for extra staff to monitor wristbands, stamps, or specific under 21 sections. Let's continue because there's more. Boom. Insurance and safety. See how all these things are put in place? You see how Amir could be so damn objective and aware if he would just Google shit? Some venues maintaining a 21 plus policy to lower insurance premiums, or because the business believes older crowds spend more and cause fewer rowdy incidents. Varying local laws. Now, some state or local ordinances mandate a 21 plus entry age for any establishment whose primary revenue comes from alcohol, as opposed to a restaurant that happens to have a beer. And no shade, you can take children to Applebee's, Chili's, and all these other places, baby, and you can still order a beer in the midst, order a drink, a martini in the midst of your child. Interesting. Now, this last part is the part that I believe Amir is trying to speak on, but let's just read what that says. It says sexually oriented classifications, recent legislation in some states. Okay? Recent. Keyword, attempts to classify certain drag performances as sexually oriented, which could trigger age restrictions 18 to 21 plus, regardless of whether alcohol is served. So that is the perspective that Amir is choosing to look at it from, not realizing that the reason why it's 21 and up is because of alcohol. If it was just titties, ass, and dick, it would be 18. And hell, if we're really gonna play that motherfucking game, there's a lot of girls that go to clubs, have fake IDs, and because they look like full-grown women, they'll allow them in the club even though they're 16 and 17 years old. So again, you checking the queer people blind spots, we checking your motherfucking blind spots, my ninja. Be grateful. What's going on? We got Harold in the building. What's going on, pimp? I hope everything is well with you, baby. When I tell you that Deshaun is the commenter of the fucking years of BubzDaGawd. But let's continue.
If you want to sit up here and host story times and you want to like volunteer to read kids' books, sure, I guess, in normal clothing. Like, this is a nonprofit where we read books to kids and give a teacher a break, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. You want to read.
They don't even want to listen to the teacher who dressed properly any damn way. Children already struggling to deal with damn kids and students any damn way. Because pretty soon we're going to hear about Amir talking about what some students did in reference to an ICE walkout. And what he would do if he was a parent, which good luck with that nigga. Because as long as this orange motherfucker is the leader, girl, the possibility of me and you or anybody else that is part of the queer community having children for real, good luck.
Books normal, that's fine. Why do you feel like it's necessary to be in front of a child looking like that?
Now, I want you to look at the screen real quick, especially during this part, because I'm going to add some extra clips and pictures on there. Because, again, we're going to have the full conversation. No shade.
The only thing I am fine with someone dressing up as to be in front of a child to perform is a clown. Which,
now, here it is. Again, what Amir doesn't understand is that drag queens are female impersonators. This person is impersonating Beyonce. You would know that if you felt safe enough to go inside of a gay club without having to wear sunglasses and a hoodie. You will be able to see and hear fully the experience and the ambiance, girl. But you got to be in incognito mode whenever you go to the club because you're afraid that the Twinks is going to whoop your ass. Even though you got some nice ass arms. And no shade, this might be the gay part, girl, but I got to believe you got a little fatty on you too. No shade. Praise the Lord. Amen. But on the screen here, you have a gymnast who is dressed in a leotard, the same way that homegirl over here dressed in a leotard, girl. You have Beyonce, who ass always has a motherfucking leotard on, and yet we have little ass girls motherfucking girl too, got the green light, all that, girl. Who run this motherfucker? All that. Little girls doing that. And I'm not done with my example. So again, we have the drag queen on the left, girl, who is a female impersonator impersonating Beyonce, girl, in front of children, girl. The drag queen dick not out, talking about put the money on my dick. They're not doing anything of that. They're not showing booty cheeks. They're not doing anything that is explicit, and the parents are around. Let's continue.
some might say y'all look like clowns, but y'all damn sure ain't performing clown tricks. You dipping, diving, twerking, and jiving.
Yeah, dipping, diving, twerking, and jiving, Miss Mamas. Taylor Swift doing the same thing, even though she offbeat. Then we have dance moms, girl. How many times have we seen? Look at how these girls are dressed. Wouldn't some religious people call them little harlot whores for dressing like that? Showing off their belly and their stomachs. And to do this while some of the judges are men. And no shade. Isn't the commander and pig in charge, girl? Didn't he say back in the day that, girl, he was able to walk inside locker rooms of... Fuck trans women walking into locker rooms. Oh my God, oh my God. Your leader and chief went inside those rooms and was happy and excited because he was able to see that shit. Cause bitch, I'm paying for all this. Y'all need my affirmation. Y'all need my money. Y'all need me to give y'all damn energy. So let me do what I please. But when drag queens do it, and then on top of that, drag queens do it with the permission of the parents. Cause like I stated earlier in the live, how there are drag queens that show up in many different places besides the place that your ass say that they're at. Meanwhile, you the one over there looking like a fugitive in those spaces. That's the gag for me. So if we're going to sit up here and we're going to say that drag queens should not be dancing and moving and gyrating, even though they're impersonating Beyonce, they're impersonating Shakira, they're impersonating Taylor Swift, they're impersonating all these bio women who are very popular, who wear the exact same outfits, but they do it on tour where it's not 21 or up for them to go. They can bring little girls, little boys, or their music and all that stuff being heard around the world, being put on all type of music. Movies and soundtracks and video games and commercials and soundtracks to people's fucking lives. But when they're doing it in the midst of their parents, because y'all love talking about on the right, it's about give the parents a choice so that we can decide whether we want our children to do this or not. Give us a choice, not my child, not my child. And then we say, okay, cool, not your child, that's cool. But when there are other parents who not afraid like y'all, who actually study to show themselves approved, who actually is willing to face the fucking fear to see if that's the damn case, now it's a problem, it's an issue with them. Now we need to have a town hall discussion about it. And again, if you want to get the queer people for that, I'll play the game with y'all. Cool. The drag queens can't do it. But if the drag queens can't do it, y'all gotta stop Beyonce. Y'all gotta stop what's homegirl name? Cardi B. With Tasha K with Cardi B's money. Y'all gotta stop Dance Moms Girl. Somebody whoop her ass finally because she deserves it. Y'all gotta do all this stuff. Y'all gotta be able to do stuff on y'all side too. Because everything that you've seen that queer people are doing that y'all complaining about, we learned it from y'all. Y'all were the representations, and baby, when I continue to show you the representations, especially for little ass toddlers, baby, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe too. Because baby, on BubzDaGawd, we actually get into it. And all the clips that I'm using, even though, shout out to my short stack, they be sending clips all the time. So if I need some backup clips, if I'm looking for something and I can't find what I'm looking for, I know that eventually my people are going to be able to send me something, but I go searching for these own clips. I save these clips myself and listen to them. And then I actually go and read on these things to see if that's the case. I want you to do the same thing too, Amir, especially since you're in a place of privilege that my ass is not in. You're spreading misinformation and you're playing along with the fear and ignorances of other people just so you can be accepted, because now all of a sudden the trans people has fucked up everything for the queer people, as if those queer people are going to be safe in this country, especially when organized religion is at the helm. My ninja, are you crazy? What's going on? We got a true Libra in the building. And if there's anybody in here that disagrees with what I'm saying, I want you to voice your opinion. Like, this be the problem. Everything is out in the open, girl, so just say how you feel. No shade. I sometimes get tired of doing this politically correct shit too. Sometimes I be wanting to have a real ass conversation like we know how we want to have a conversation. And it's sad because the only time I can have those conversations for real is within my inner circle of people, which is why my inner circle is small, because a lot of y'all motherfuckers are ignorant and I ain't got time for that. There's a reason why Amir has close to 1 million subscribers. Because the majority of those people are fucking bigots. And they want to utilize Amir's inner homophobia and transphobia. And again, I'm talking about Amir, the public image version. I don't know him personally as far as his character. And I'm pretty sure the character of him behind the scenes and in front of the camera is two entirely different motherfuckers. Now for me, it's the same. Now certain areas I need to work on, but for the most part, that's me. I show out in who I am and show up in who I am. I stutter. I put words together. Baby, I'm going to be tongue-tied. It's going to happen regardless. But it's not going to stop me from being me because the universe has given me the opportunity to show up in this reality without your permission or anybody else's. I have my own unique individual fingerprint, i.e. my own key into this reality. And if motherfuckers started working on their own ish, then maybe we can start focusing on the bigger issue that, no shade, Amir is actively playing to skirt over. Because again, he got something to lose. I just got over 1,000 subscribers. YouTube is not one of my avenues of finances, not yet. Because I definitely plan to make that the case. But if that was my main point, my main resource, or one of my biggest resources or whatever, I can understand why you would want to play to your audience, because they're the ones that's keeping you afloat. And I'm so glad that on this small ass platform that I have right now, I'm able to look at other people and learn from them so that when I get to that point, I don't make the same mistakes they made. And even though I will make some mistakes, it ain't gonna be with the mistakes y'all make. No shade. Let's continue.
On stage in front of these minors. Why? The only time I think an adult should be dressed up, not even should, but like it's, oh, okay, I get it. Dressed up in front of a child like that. If you're at a theme park and it's appropriate and they ain't doing nothing crazy, or if you hired like a clown and they juggling, they doing magic tricks and stuff, that's fine. But what are you dipping, diving, and twerking for these kids for? They don't need to see this.
They're almost
Girl, what?
jubilant about being able to use these laws to ban young people from accessing content that could be educational if they are queer. And you're a principal, you have LGBT students in your school, and we also know that they're not receiving sex education for queer kids. We know that prurient interest could be, for many people, the very existence of transgender kids. More and more people are saying there simply are no transgender kids.
This damn person, Representative Lee Fink, the trans representative that's always fighting and hipper and hollering for trans kids' rights, trans kids this. They're just, I have a whole video on just them and like all the trans
Faith,
people
what's going
in
on,
office,
Faith?
which I might do. Go ahead and subscribe because that is going to come. I'm going to do a video just on all the LGBTQ people in office because I think they're a clear example as to why the respect for gay people in the gay community is on the decline because of shit like this.
And now, baby, when he started saying some cuss words, I said, okay, I understand you feeling it now. And that's what I want. I want people to start acknowledging what they feel, because emotions is the one thing that I think is like missing from this conversation. We be like, oh, we don't want to have conversations from an emotional place, but it always becomes emotional because we're talking about people's identities, things that they have poured time, effort, energy in over the years to solidify, to strengthen, and to be. Here's the thing, Amir. I hope that you do that video because I would love to see the examples of what you're talking about in reference to queer people. Again, the umbrella term for the LGBT ubiquitous community. How they are fucking it up for the rest of the queer community objectively. Maybe there's something that I can't see. That maybe you can, but I want you to show us because that's the point. You got the platform, my ninja. You got the resources, my ninja. You got the better computer, my ninja. You got the team with you, my ninja. You have all that around you. You have different resources that I don't have as of now. I am manifesting that, but I don't have it at this moment. And how is it that for someone like me who has less resources than you, less supporters than you, less reach than you, able to sit up here and to really do my own research and put things out that literally puts holes in your logic because they're not even your own thoughts. We saw you have a debate with Mason and you couldn't even hold your fucking own, my ninja. You kept saying the same shit over and over again, even though Mason acknowledged what you stated, also brought in the other aspect that people are afraid of, and was able to find a quote-unquote middle ground. Not just read ground news, because they're your sponsor and you don't even utilize them for your projects the way you should. But you are supposed to find the gray area or the middle ground in this conversation. And you failed in that, and we saw that. And if you want to see my commentary about that, you can definitely watch my previous lives, part 1, 2, and the finale, girl, of Amir versus Mason. What is a woman? Even though it should have been a trans woman and a cis woman having that conversation. But anyway, again, whatever tools you got to use the tools, girl. They thought he was a hammer, girl, but he's really a screwdriver. That's the fucked up part. Anyway, let's continue.
Why are you sitting up here trying to defend the right for children to access adult material because they can learn from it?
Well, for one, as we can see on the right, and like the president said, he loves the ignorant, and y'all be proving him right every motherfucking day. So a lot of y'all don't even know how to read. And then on top of that, they don't need a book to learn adult shit. They have it in their phone. They have it in their hands. They know what a VPN is. They know how to Google shit to get around shit. I'm sorry to everybody else who's a part of the binary. Now your reality is being shaken because now we're living in an era where the truth is here and can be recorded and shown to you in real time. Do you know how many children have access to X, formerly known as Twitter, where they put all type of shit on there, but I don't see nobody trying to shut X down? On these porno sites, they don't ask for verification. Now, here in Indiana, they do. You got to use a VPN in Indiana, girl. Sometimes that's one thing I miss about Detroit, girl. I'm not about to upload my ID, bitch. I will put a VPN, girl, to watch what I want to watch. And I also got an imagination. So if that shit come to work with it, I know how to make shit work. I'm a visionary. Okay? I can make it work. But they don't verify that. So there are plenty of children that is able to go to these sites and see the stuff on their own. And then on top of that, oh my God, like y'all, this is why it's going to take another generation to come to do the real work, because the parents and the grandparents and everybody else scared as fuck to do it. When I was younger, I remember we had cable TV, and at that time it was channels 1 to 99. Now every once in a while, you might be able to get channel 100, 101, 102, and those were the premier channels. HBO, Showtime, or my favorite out of all of them, girl, especially when it comes to adult content, girl, was Skinamax. Because that was the most time where it was some of the hot dudes that was getting the girl a missionary girl, and I can see his booty moving and shit. Because again, I'm a top. I love ass, girl. I've been like an ass since I was a child. No shade, girl. That's one thing that has not changed and won't change. Ikadabo Shande. But that's what I'm saying. Okay? So it's kind of like, I remember watching those channels and seeing it. Sometimes they would be clear, because a lot of times they would be fuzzy. But there was sometimes, rarely, where it would be clear, girl. And you'd be sitting like, ooh, what is that? What is that? And because you're having a reaction to it, especially when you get to a certain age, even though that age varies for everybody, to where you can start physically responding to things, you don't know what this is. But how will you know about the sexual education if there's no gay sexual education? That unfortunately gay adults have to learn as adults, to where they have to learn to put on a motherfucking condom, where they're gonna have to learn to make sure that they use a lube injector or something so that everything goes smoothly, so that you don't end up tearing the walls of your inner lining. Do you get what I'm saying? If you would have had that education there as well. I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, children gonna do what they gonna do. As a child, I played house. Can we be real? Everybody played motherfucking house. Now, what would have happened if we were properly educated about these things before we played house? And I'm going to show you what we can do, because again, unlike Amir, I show solutions. I look for solutions. I don't just get up here and talk my shit. Baby, I still try to find a gray area in the midst of that and show you what that looks like, because again, I'm learning to be the change that I want to see. No shade. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Shout out to y'all being in the building on tonight. I'm gonna get to y'all comments in a minute. I'm on a roll, baby. And I ain't trying to be here too long. No shade. But let's continue. Let's continue.
Reasons like this where y'all are just weird and creepy is the reason why so many adults nowadays look at trans adults and say, get away from my kid, you're weird. Because you have literally trans representatives in our government advocating for the right for children to look up adult material online because they can learn from it and they need access to it. It's exactly why you have things popping.
Now, before we get to this part, he said now he can understand why there are adults that are telling the trans adults overall to get the fuck away from my child. But in your video with Mason, you stated that you don't mind trans children when they are socially transitioning. And just like how every motherfucking child is told in America that at a young age, you can grow up and be whatever you want to be. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. You got Karen Clark Sheard and everybody else singing about the children and shit like that. Whitney singing about the children and stuff. All this stuff about what the children can do and how they're our future, and treat them well and let them lead the way. Teach them well, also treat them well, and let them lead the way. Now, when these children become adults and some of them don't assimilate with the surgery, because it's funny, because you don't want the trans children to have the surgery or to have any sort of gender affirming care, but yet you want the trans adults to assimilate and to take the gender affirming care. And then when there are some that is able to assimilate in such a way to where, quote unquote, you can't tell, now you want them to tell you. And every time trans people are walking in their honesty, there is always a level of resistance against it. And it's not just a verbal offense. It becomes physical. Again, have we not been subscribed? Or, girl, what? We need to subscribe. Y'all should subscribe to J Inclusive. Again, J Inclusive collects data, stories, updates on things that happen in the queer community, including, and unfortunately, trans women of color being unalived. But see, that fear is a powerful thing. I think a true Libra said it in the comments. That fear is a powerful thing, baby. That fear would keep your ass from seeing the damn truth. And yes, no shade. For the past few years, I've been holding heterosexual fupa having ass niggas accountable. Now it's in-house. We already did the DL Whisperer. We might have to do a part 2 because he in prison now. But we did it on the DL Whisperer, a gay man. Now it's Amir, a gay man. We gonna stay in-house a little bit, or for the majority of this year. Because there needs to be accountability. Because one thing I've been hearing is, oh, well, everybody got to hold their people accountable. Hold your people accountable. Okay, BubzDaGawd raises his hand in tribute, bitch. I'll go. Because the odds going to always be in my favor, bitch. Because when you love yourself and you go through fear, you transform. And that's not something that I'm just talking about. It's something that I'm living in my own life personally. I'm at a place in my life right now where I am getting ready to transcend into a better space. I had to learn to let go of certain things, and I am letting go of certain things in my life that have been traumatic. There are some areas to where, especially with what's going on right now, a nigga low-key do feel triggered. Because I already survived the shit that's going to happen, the onslaught that's happening right now, and that will continue to happen. I already survived that as a child. Make sure y'all check out Faith is the Substance. We did a one-on-one sit down. She got up all in my business, all up in my grill. And I was honest about my childhood and the things that I went through. But what do you think those queer children are going to feel when they see queer adults being demonized? And I know because I was once a queer child and I saw how the black church harmed queer people. And you're telling me that now there's a change of heart with this administration? You have not proven that at all, my ninja. And if you have,
Up like this, where Kansas legislature overrides governor's veto on gender identity bill. Now, this bill, what this does basically is limit restroom and locker room access to biological sex and ban changes to gender markers on IDs. Because now you do have trans people saying, oh, I'm a woman now, and they're getting ID changed to say that they're actual a woman, even though they're clearly not. And then you have people that aren't passing all, the people that are just like creepy and weird, going into the women's bathroom, specifically women, so not the men are really that much of a concern, but going into the women's bathrooms, causing a scene, making women feel uncomfortable. And none of this would be a thing if trans people just acted right and do their place. If trans people just acted right and do their place. If trans people just acted right and do their place. They
Oh, Lord, I'm muted. Damn, I was muted the whole time. It's okay to mute, monster. Thank you, Aries. Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Let me look at y'all comments real quick, because that's what I was doing. A True Libra says, I really hate these self-hating gays like the DL Whisper and F nigga like this, girl. No shade. I'm going to say what I said again, because I remember what I said. And I was saying that I believe that Amir can be saved from this. I believe that Amir can change from this. I believe that he has an opportunity to like really tap into the humanity aspect of it. But I believe that his followers will put him in a situation that will get him, unfortunately, messed up. Not in the same context of the DL Whisperer, because the DL Whisperer pulled up to another person's house, right? But because Amir has the platform that the DL Whisperer will never have, and because he has the resources and support that the DL Whisperer will never have, now I feel like he's really put himself in a fucking pickle. Because again, like I stated, I've done commentary on Amir over the years a little bit, and I've never heard him speak like this. But in this video, especially when he gets to the niggas, oh my God, baby. Baby, you gonna understand. You definitely gonna understand. But I believe that Amir can be saved. I do. I'm not gonna give up hope for him yet, because again, I don't know him personally. But this public version, this ninja right here, oh yes, we're gonna hold this ninja accountable. Hell, I'm already being held accountable in my own life, baby. And I'm holding myself accountable. And I think right now, what we need to do is learn how to hold ourselves personally accountable first, and then we can help other people. Because again, Amir, we saw that debate with Mason, my ninja. You ain't do good at all. And my thing is, I wonder how that would have went if it was like in a neutral space. Not a space that was left leaning or right leaning, but like truly middle ground. I wonder how that conversation would be. But I don't think Amir would want to have that conversation, because if he were to have that conversation, he'd probably lose his support. Let me see. See, in GA, Corn Sites asks for ID. Yep, here in Indiana, it's the same thing. Harold says, literal fear, Bubs. Even some folk in our generation are afraid. No shade. That's the thing. Everybody is afraid, which is why people, this administration, can do what the hell it's doing. And the administration wants you to focus on the queer people, focus on the black people. They put us in this predicament. That is what their whole campaign was about. That the woke shit was fucking up America. When in reality, the woke shit was fucking up their America, which is why they want to make it great again. And great again means that there is a certain group of people that are at the top. And just like Amir stated 3 times, girl, in this video, this live, girl, you need to do the right thing and get in your place. That shit is crazy. HBO After Dark was cool, but it wasn't really good though. Some of that stuff was like, you know what I'm saying? I did like Reels. That was okay. What else? As well as, I think it's called Best X Ever. That was pretty good. Harold says, where in America are these adults who are advocating for children to research corn? Show them, point them out. Amir, it's easy to be able to do the work when people send it to you. Are you going to be able to do the work to figure it out from other people's perspectives? No shade. Let me see. Actor right and knew they place. I love how y'all said y'all are muted. Maybe he's trying to be invited to the United Nations to speak alongside Trump. I don't know. But it's going to be very interesting, baby, because again, like, he has yet to prove how people on the left at large, or those who don't believe in the conservative movement, especially the white Christian nationalist version of the movement that is at the helm of power right now, that is decimating not just America, but other fucking countries, girl, and putting us into shit, and then want to send other American children to go fight for another fucking war where they will reap the rewards, while those parents whose children are at war, unfortunately, some of them or a lot of them are going to receive their children back in fucking caskets. Y'all children possibly are going to be going to war to where they're not going to be able to have any more of those expensive ass eggs ever again. Or the home cooked meal ever again. You got literal people in MAGA who are regretting voting for Trump. Like, girl. And you had a group of people, the woke people, who were telling you what was going to happen. And now we are here. And instead of Amir doing the right thing, like focusing on this administration, and actually, since he's conservative leaning, girl, you don't just read the conservative people, girl, when you're threatened. Even though you are threatened. If you were objective, you would have been reading the fuck out of them before they, quote unquote, possibly would have threatened gay marriage that you told us to be chill about, as if though they're not going to go for a round two. They just didn't want Kim Davis to be their champion. Because who wants some frumpy, elephantitis, snuffleupagus looking ass church woman like her being at the helm of that? They're going to want a fine ass woman to be at the helm of that. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Wouldn't be dealing with this. They wouldn't.
When people on the left say things like, we should start teaching consent.
Now, here it is again. He was talking about, again, the children. Why do you need to put this around the children? Y'all trying to teach children adult things and the gay stuff and the drag queens, all the homosexual shit. Stay away from my child. Stay away from my child. Telling the queer adult who was once a child, who had to figure it out on their own and then have to be an adult and learn how to heal from their traumatic experiences just for that trauma to be realized again. And now a new generation of children have to then go through that process. And unfortunately, a lot of them are not going to fucking make it. So again, being a person who cares about the gray area, because in the midst of me being bullied and demonized and ostracized, there was still a light in me that wanted to help other people, and that light has never died, and that light ain't gonna fucking die. I come through with a solution. So here it is on the screen. It reads, how to talk about consent, gender identity, and sexuality with toddlers. Oh my God, but hold on, Bubs. We already said the children, but now you're talking about the toddlers. And the toddlers are very impressionable at this age, and their mind is a sponge, and we got to be careful what we expose them to. So let's take a listen to a parent give a solution that can offer a resolution to this bullshit so we can focus on what's really fucking us up. Let's take a listen to this, and I want y'all to know, can y'all get with this? Can y'all get jiggy with what she has to say? Because I feel like I can. Let's take a listen.
And gender identity from toddlerhood. People on the right here, we should show kids gay porn. So let me explain what it looks like to teach young children about concepts like consent and gender identity and sexuality. Let's start with consent. You aren't going to explain to a toddler that everyone should get a verbal yes from a sexual partner before partaking in any sort of sexual activity. You teach kids the basics of consent by modeling it. When you're tickling a toddler and they say stop or no, you stop. You explain, you said no. I understand that no means no, so I stopped what I was doing. It looks like saying, I'm not going to force you to hug grandma and grandpa if it makes you uncomfortable. You can choose what to do with your body. When we talk about gender identity, we're not doing an in-depth pronoun presentation. We're simply explaining that if you're at the playground and your kid says, Mom, can I play with that little girl? And the child says, I'm not a little girl, I'm a boy. They now speak to that person as a little boy. And this happens all the time. You can't tell from a kid's haircut or their clothes, whatever they're wearing, what their gender is a lot of times. People misgender young children and babies all the time, and it's not a big deal. When my daughter was an infant and wearing neutral clothing, it was not unusual for people to ask me, oh, how old is he? And I would just respond, oh, she's 9 months. It's not a whole big thing. It's a very normal, simple conversation. And when we're talking about sexuality, it's not going further than, hey, your friend Olivia has a mom and a dad, and your friend Maya has 2 moms. We're just teaching them that families can look different and broadening their worldview from whatever they might see within their own home. People on the right love to fearmonger about all of this, and it's just not necessary because they're making things up. No one is showing toddlers gay porn.
There it is, girl. In this very psychedelic ass way. What's going on, Kenneth? What's going on, Pimpin'? And I'm the, come on, favorite leprechaun, Ikutable Shande Ishkatai. There's a perfect example of, again, having a very simplistic, not complicated, not arithmetic, Not for some of you smarter than a 5th grader, girl, but very elementary, preschool, very much kid-like, basic formation type of way. If you're tickling your child and they say stop, stop. Now, of course, as a parent, you want to love to tickle your child. I remember, like, when I was younger, well, I'm not ticklish underneath there anymore, I don't think, but like one of my ticklish spots was like under my arms or my feet. And sometimes my mom or my dad would be like, or my neck. Well, if you breathe on my neck, I have to be like, stop, stop. But I ain't gonna want you to stop. I'm like, stop. I'll give you consent not to stop. I'll give you consent not to stop. That's my spot, because my neck is my spot. But like ticklish parts, and they would tickle me, and it would be like, okay, I'm about to pee, I'm about to pee, I'm about to pee, or I'm about to fart or something like that, girl. Even though it ain't happened, I probably farted. But it's like, when you're laughing uncontrollably, that shit can hurt after a while because your abs are contracting and engaging. That shit can be painful after a while. You know what I'm saying? But to teach children is simply like, okay, I'm stopping. You told me stop. What that does to the child, or teaches the child, is that, okay, that's the basic understanding of what consent means. And that my mommy and my daddy will honor and respect that. Which then means, when I go out into the world with other people, I'm going to do the same thing out of simply human decency and respect. Before I touch somebody, I'll be, especially if I don't know them like that, I'm gonna be like, it's okay if I touch you? It's okay if I put my arm around you? I will always say that, because I'm conscious. Because we also live in a world where motherfuckers gonna grab on you and touch on you and all type of shit and make you feel uncomfortable. So that's, again, a very basic conversation about consent. Then they talked about gender and how, again, children, especially infants and toddlers, they don't have mustaches. They don't have all these things that, societally speaking, the secondary sex characteristics, the mustache, the things that society says is a man or a woman from its concept, its perspective, doesn't happen. To where there are babies that get misgendered all the time, and there is no complaints about that. And again, if you're letting children socially transition, because that's also a part of the conversation, then that also means that your toddler or your children, as they get older, may say, hey, I'm a boy and I'm a girl, because they're doing the social transitioning. It gives them the opportunity and the space to explore, like children do, to see what is for them. But the parents don't want that, because what the parents don't want to admit, because then now we have to talk about them, is what people are going to think about them as parents. When yet you say you love a God that love your ass when you continuously do crazy-ish. You want God to continuously have grace and mercy for you. But you can't extend it to your own child. So you're the child of God and you want the grace and mercy, but you can't give it to your own children. And then again, for the actuality part, instead of being like goddamn invisible, like the family dynamic that Amir wants, the hermit fucking introvert, like, no, shout out to introvert, because I am an introvert. I love, girl, especially the world is kind of crazy right now, girl, so you might want to stay to yourself and work on your own shit. No shade. Shout out to independent creators like myself. But you can teach children, hey, guess what? Sarah has 2 moms. Tommy has 2 moms. Billy has 2 dads. Jessica has 2 dads. Erica has just a mom. Tommy has just a dad. Mark doesn't have a mom or a dad. They have a grandpa or an auntie, or hell, a foster parent. Again, families are different. They're not going to be like you and I. Hell, even children who grew up with 2 parents in the house eventually going to lose their parents. It eventually becomes a 1-parent household. So that's a transition. No shade, no tea, and, what's the word I'm looking for, girl? No pun intended. So it's literally that simple. But we just heard Amir and saw Amir explain that when it comes down to drag queens and trans and queer representation in spaces where it can be a part of cultural, legislative change, or just around children and youth, that there is that queer people are innately more actual, more predatory, more aggressive, more assertive than, and that queer experiences are inherently more dangerous than heterosexual perspective and living. But then again, I just put up a few heterosexual people who assaulted children, and they were in those right spaces. They were dressed the part. And again, somebody who's going to be a predator girl is going to do all they can to play the part and eventually get what they want. Ain't no predator about to be waiting no fucking 5-10 years for some shit to pop off. A predator is going to take the advantage when the advantage presents its fucking self. Just like out in the jungle or out in nature, when a predator is stalking its prey, it doesn't wait 5-10 years for it. It waits for the proper moment and then it pounces. So if trans women or drag queens that y'all believe are the same girl, even though they're not, are predatory and dangerous to children and women, y'all gonna have to objectively prove it. And y'all do not. Because if it was objectively proven, I would have saw it by now. Now let's continue. Because we just learned about the consent again with and gender and sexuality with toddlers, with children, with youth, the children. Let's take a look at what happens when it's heterosexual toddlers and heterosexual youth. I want y'all to see what happens then.
Hermione, look in there. It is so cute. Thank you, Desmond. My mom bought it.
You got it for Valentine? That's so nice. Do you like it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
You can take it home, Hermione.
That was so sweet.
What is going on with you? Oh my God! Good God Almighty!
Do you have any crushes?
Baby. So little Desmond girl is down with the swirl. And once Miss Mama's picked up that gift, thank you, Desmond. My mom got it. And then he put his hands, like the caption said, put his hands together, you know. And in the comments, it's, oh my God, Desmond got the razz. Desmond this. Oh my God, that's so cute. I remember when I was in school, I did this. Wasn't no people in the comments saying, report the teacher. They should have stopped that. They too young for that. Wasn't nobody trying to find the name of the school and doing exposés on the school talking about why did you allow the child to do that? We don't want none of the, again, we don't want none of it around the children, right? So we don't want that around the children. Meanwhile, children are giving gifts on Valentine's Day, and even I had to participate in that at a young age, even though I couldn't really give my Valentine to who I wanted to give my Valentine to because that would result in an ass whooping. And then we have the other one where the little boy was touching a little girl in the face, and we could see the little girl looking like, I don't want to do this. She looked bothered. She looked like, why y'all let him do this to me? Everybody else, oh my God, oh my God, oh that's so cute. Kiss on the cheek, that's cool, but that little boy went back for a kiss on the lips. And that's when the mama said nope, and little boy started. Wasn't none of those kids crying because now they got popped on the ass or popped on the hand talking about don't do that. No. You too young for that. You're not grown to be doing none of that. There's none of that. And when I look at the comments underneath that video, it's the same thing. And as the caption read, He found his good thing. And y'all be saying children don't even know what the fuck they want to eat for breakfast. So how is it that he found his good thing? Or could that simply be the parents projecting their sexuality onto children? But see, when we talk about that and we say, okay, for straight people, for y'all to do y'all part and for y'all to cover y'all area, we know y'all don't, because to y'all, heterosexuality is the only thing that exists. And if that was the case, queerness would not be here. Y'all arms, I might be short, but y'all arms are definitely too short to box with God. Y'all gonna have to ask God why that's the case. And I said ask God, because the devil ain't got shit to do with that. We talking to the creator of all things. Of all things. Of good and evil, correct? So get in your prayer closet and ask those questions to the Almighty One. Instead of trying to stop people from living their lives. So because if queer people can't have representation, especially as youth, even though y'all have grown up with queer people. Yeah. But let's listen to this one, because this one was very, very, I want to say inclusive, but it was also very wise, because this one boy, I think his name is Miles, very, very smart. Very, very smart. No shade. Let's take a listen to him in reference to his crushes and who he likes as a child.
Is right now, Miles?
Only on 3 people.
On 3 people?
3.5.
3.5. What's a half crush feel like?
You don't want to marry them, but you do like them. A full crush feels like you want to marry them and you like them.
How many marriages do you see yourself being in long term?
Probably always 3.
At once?
Yeah. A half crush is Ben, who I talked about this morning. Then Jack B, who you already know. Zoe and Clara. My stomach has a crush on food, though.
Yeah,
because every day, even if I eat a lot of lunch, I'm still hungry.
Oh, wow.
I learned this, and it's called, you can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails.
Oh, I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, life changes, and you can change with it.
Well, that's not what it means, really.
Oh,
but
my bad.
I know what it means.
Yeah, tell me more about what it means.
It means it's not about what happens to you. It's how you react to make a better choice.
That's very wise.
So I wanted to show that in reference to, like, when Amir talks about this aspect, and no shade, somebody kind of said, well, that kind of seems like you're doing whataboutism. Well, I'm just saying again, if we're checking blind spots, because if you're going to sit up here and critique me, you're going to have to make sure you're doing better than me to critique me, because I need to learn from you. If you're going to come through with some sort of critique or some sort of change, you got to also come through with a resolution as well, not just talking about the ish. And if you just talk about the ish and you don't offer no resolution, I know what you on. And I rarely come across people who are on the other side who have some sort of constructive perspective that is actually constructive and want to actually work together to make it work. And for the people on the other side who do want to do that, my name is BubzDaGawd, and I would love for y'all to come over here and talk to me. Because again, I have these conversations in real life. I lived the experiences that a lot of these other queer youth is going to have to experience. And unfortunately, some of them are not going to survive. I almost didn't. But let's continue with, I believe, the final part of Amir's video. I think it is. Let's see. Yep, this is it.
These are students protesting and doing a school walkout in opposition of ICE. 1, get your ass back in school. 2, if I was a parent, I'd be pulling my kid out of school. You're supposed to be in class, in a safe environment, learning, but yeah, you want to do, y'all so mad about school shooters, but you want to run and play in traffic like you Frogger. That don't make no damn sense. That's just stupid. Stupid, and a clear sign that you aren't learning nothing in school to begin with if you have the audacity to just run away from school, which I did. I skipped some classes to go get Sonic or something. It was some wholesome. It was wholesome and fun skipping class sometimes, but this, doing it for this? You running and playing in traffic for this? For ICE? Come on, G.
So when you skip school, because again, your ass supposed to be in class focusing on your education, you skip school to get food and shit, when technically you're supposed to be in class and you can get in trouble for that. But when you bend the rules, it's something that's wholesome and it's just innocent. But yet, these children who are in schools, who do, unfortunately, put themselves in a situation for a public outing to happen at their school, but who also are friends with people that are being labeled as illegal immigrants, and the people who are supposed to do their job are not doing their job because they're discriminating based off of accents. Instead of having all this money to be able to use technology to find the actual people that's causing harm. But I'm sure if they were to do that, everything would point to the fucking White House. But now, because these individuals have friends that are going to be affected by that, family members who are going to be affected by that, yes, these children are walking out in solidarity and no shade. I wonder what would happen if the fucking adults followed suit. Maybe change would happen in this country. What would happen if everybody walked off their motherfucking jobs? If everybody said, fuck it, I'm not going into work for a week. Those corporations would have to beg us to come back. The powers that be wouldn't have that much power because we keep giving them that. So the children is actually doing something revolutionary that the assimilated, scared, fear-based ass parents and grandparents and adults are afraid to do, to actually make a change. Because the adults are the reason why we in this shit today, correct? Children wasn't the result of this. It was the action of the adults who said they know better. And look at what the fuck they created. And then you expect those who are younger than you, who are more susceptible to being informed and having it easier to retain information, telling them that you know better than them. And when they actually have the opportunity to look up your history and your past and see how much of a fucking liar you are, now you feel some type of way because they challenging you because you ain't do your work to heal your own ish. Now because you the daddy, you the mama, you grown, you automatically know every damn thing. But yet if we were to ask you questions to see if you know something, we find out that you don't know shit. Because apparently being the mommy and the daddy, or the title of it, means that you know what you're doing, even though some of y'all parents didn't know what the fuck they were doing with your ass. And now we live in a time where people have the ability to educate themselves and to be better. And we see a bunch of y'all still want to stay in the fear-based area because it's convenient for you. It's comfortable for you. And I can understand what that feels like. I know what it's like to be comfortable with your fears, because anything happening outside that bubble is more terrifying. So yes, I'm gonna stay with what is familiar, even though it is harmful, even though it is toxic, even though it is poisonous. And we can take trans out of this. We can take queer out of this. We can take a race out of this. We can take politics out of this. We can talk about in our own personal lives. There are so many things in our lives that we need to work out to love ourselves and realize that we are worthy of more than what it is that we have settled for. And the system wants you to settle. Because as long as you settle, they will profit. They will continue to live the dreams and the realities that y'all are slaving away every day to work at. Because I'm not finna slave my life away. I'm sorry. As long as my ass is blessed, talented, gifted, a leprechaun, and fine, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way. That's one thing about BubzDaGawd, baby. I'm going to find a way. Am I going to cry at times? Yes. Am I going to be stressed at times? Yes. Am I going to be scared at times? Yes. Am I going to be triggered at times? Yes. Am I going to be imperfect at times? Yes. Am I going to make mistakes at times? Yes. Am I not going to know at times? Yes. But it does not mean that I can't get what I want. A wise mystic once said to me that you can have whatever it is that you want in this world. You just going to have to give up your idea of how you're going to get there and allow the universe to take you there. And baby, that is scary. especially if you have grown up not knowing what self-love was and having to learn it as an adult. Meaning as an adult, you have to learn unhealed shit. That means you got to look at years and years and years worth of traumatic ass shit. And especially in the black community, we don't know anything about a damn therapist. We just go to God in prayer when God is telling you to go to therapy, bitch. Because I can give you what you want on the other side, but you got to do your part to get to the other side and meet me in the middle. And then it's projected onto other people. So shout out to those students standing on business. Because if the school ain't teaching them shit anyway, then maybe we should skip. I mean, it was good for you to skip certain classes. I mean, just because you wanted to skip and go to motherfucking Chick-fil-A and get motherfucking Coke with no ice in it, these individuals decided to stand outside in opposition against ICE. Because it's not just about ICE sitting here getting the illegal immigrants. It's about the fact that there is video evidence of ICE unaliving 2 American people, and white at that. Yeah, this year is gonna be very interesting. Let's continue.
I feel like half these students out there right now protesting and doing all these school walkouts, they just don't want to be in school. And it's just an excuse to follow what everybody else is doing, get out of school, post on social media, have a good little time, and then go about your day. And then there's a Mexican flag, take your ass back to Mexico. You love it so much, go. You want to defend people coming here, but you also talking about how much you hate it here. Pick one. You too busy holding up a Palestine flag and Ukraine flag, Israel flag, Russia, like all these different other country flags to protect their borders and have them help them out with anything that they need. But what about America?
Well, you can thank Trump about what's happening to America because he's the reason all this shit is happening. No shade. He's the reason why ICE is here in America. He's the reason why there are plenty of ICE detention facilities being put around America. See, and no shade, I'm glad that Amir is speaking this way because now we really see what's going on. Because I told you, when it comes down to emotions, that's when you can find out the truth in reference to emotions. Because one thing that ain't gonna lie is energy in motion, i.e. emotion. Now, no shade. If people from Mexico or that are Mexican got to go back to Mexico and Palestine and all these other flags, if they got to go back to their place, bitch, they taking everything with them. Eat that poisonous ass Taco Bell shit. Ain't no more authentic shit. Learn to cook it your damn self. Don't look for no damn abuela seasonings. Don't use no go. We taking Goya with us. We taking the Sazon with us. We taking the chiles with us. We taking all the fruit and produce with us. Go pick your own fucking fruit. Did Nicki Minaj say she gonna have you bitches pick her fruit? Pick your own fruit. All that shit goes. And that means no shade, baby. When what's the Mexican Independence Day called again? I slipped my mind, y'all. Damn, what is it called? It's on the tip of my tongue. What's it called, girl? But when that holiday come, wipe it. No. You drink no tequila. Hell no. Y'all want to celebrate Mexican Independence Day while getting rid of Latino people. But yet you want to eat tres leches cake and you're not even Latino. You want a quinceañera, but you're not even part of the Latin culture, but you want to have it. You want authentic fajitas and all type of Mexican cuisine, Latino cuisine, girl. Thank you. Cinco de Mayo. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, a true Libra. Thank you, because sometimes I need help. No shade. We doing this together. But I'm doing a lot of the work. But yes, remove all that's got to go. All that's got to go. And for him to say that, it's kind of like, wow. Now we see that, yeah, the right leaning. Oh yeah, you're definitely in the right, girl, because what you're stating is that you're saying the same thing that we hear MAGA saying. And if you especially want black people to go, no shade. If we go, we taking everything in America, bitch, because if it wasn't for black people building this shit, y'all wouldn't have shit. A lot of the things that we enjoy right now, black people have created. The same White House, hence it's called White House, was built by slaves. Yeah. At least the people who built this White House girl getting paid. Because my ancestors didn't. They were just told, get over it. And we still gonna fuck y'all lives up. And then on top of that, you're telling people to get up out of the country. This administration is making it harder for them to do that. Because now all these other places are threatening to unalive Americans because of what that orange pig is doing. And now Americans have to pay for that. And there are people that are leaving America by the droves, but they're making it difficult. No shade. Like, I don't want the Handmaid's Tale to manifest, but it seemed like, girl, this is the precursor to what it could possibly be, based on what we're literally seeing. Let's continue, y'all, because I wasn't expecting to be live for 2 hours. But hey.
What about us? You want to sit here and run up in traffic and act like Captain Save a Hoe and make it seem like you actually care and stand for something. Actually, I take that back. You are standing for something. If you got the balls to run in traffic, you're standing on business. I'll give them that. I will. They're standing on business, but there's nothing. It's a crappy foundation. It's a shitty foundation that needs work. Ooh, if I was a parent, I'd be hotter than fish grease right now. My kid out here running in traffic like they am Frogger. Over ICE. Immigration Customs Enforcement. That's just getting rid of illegal immigrants. Because y'all not supposed to be here anyways. Keyword illegal. It has never made sense to me.
Well, the reason why it don't make sense to you is because you don't even study to show thyself approved, my ninja. You just listen to what the people give you. Because again, they sent you these clips. In order for you to keep getting that ad revenue, which no shade, shout out to you pimping, because I'm trying to get paid off my shit too, because this shit is not easy. I'm a one-man army, a one-man team, and I'm going to be compensated for the time that I give, baby, because I understand that when you come into being blessed, you have to give in order to receive. But I'm glad that I'm doing it in an honest way, to where I'm not backed by somebody to where I feel like I'm obligated to stand in the perspective that they want me to stand in. That's called selling your soul. And Amir, the public image of Amir, it literally looks like you sold your soul, my ninja. Because now you saying the quiet part out loud. Interesting. Let's continue further, because he ain't done.
Never. Bro, homeboy can't even make it up a hill. You can't even make it up a hill and you worry about ICE. You need to worry about them damn, your arteries.
Well, make sure you tell that to some of the ICE agents, because a lot of these ICE agents look like they ass they finished off 2 large pieces from Pizza Hut and a 2-liter of Mountain Dew. Some of these niggas out here motherfucking 8 months, 9 months, 12 months pregnant them damn selves. How many overweight, motherfucking out of shape ass ICE agents have we seen? We ain't seen no muscular Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jason Statham, or Tony Jaa. We ain't seen no athletic Tom Cruise, the nigga that play Reacher. We don't see any of them in ICE. We seeing niggas who played Call of Duty all their life, girl, and now feel like they can do that in real life, thinking that no scoping is real in real fucking life.
Can't. We're going to the next one. I can't. Get your ass back in school. I will never understand this level of virtue signaling and just like participation culture. For what?
Now, this is the part I want the black people to watch. I'm glad the nigga music coming on behind me now. Thank you. See how the universe works? Now listen to what he got to say when it comes down to black people.
This is why people are racist.
Oh.
Listen, I'm just saying it how it is. I'm just saying, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yup, that's why people don't like black folk. Because y'all act like baboons.
Oh!
Straight, chimpery, just straight, like, it's so disgusting to see. I'm not saying all black people are like this. No. Everybody there is acting like a baboon. Whites included, the Hispanics, the Asians. If you out there, y'all throwing laptops, y'all throwing drinks. Again, an excuse to get out of school. An excuse to get out of school, an excuse to act a fool, an excuse to just post on social media for likes and clicks. Literally, POV, your school had an ICE walkout protest and didn't know how to act. Y'all don't know how to act. You know who else doesn't know how to act? Animals. This damn school system. Ooh, my kids ain't never seen the light of day of public school. They ain't.
I be feeling like Amir be having like Again, I believe that there is the spark of humanity is in Amir, despite the performance he has to put on for his audience. Which is why it's kind of like the performative part or the triggered part, he responded in the way that he did, as far as saying that this right here is why racism is continuously happening. Not that it created it, but it continues what's already been created. It strengthens what's already here. It reinforces what's already put out. And for you to come up out your mouth and for you to say that these black people, these stereotypical trap, Daquan, Delantrion, Mook Mook, Woody Whoop, and all them looking ass black people, that they're walking out, and because we saw one of them throw a laptop, as if though we don't see white children doing dumb, stupid shit all the fucking time, girl. Now when the black people do it, they're baboons. And there's chimpery here. And I just find it very fascinating that a black man who is in the position that he's in, backed and supported by who he's backed and supported by, for him to say that, first of all, go crazy, but then it's like, there's a part of him that was like, let me clean it up. Well, if you're a baboon for acting white or Asian or Latino, you tried to clean it up, but you said that part out loud, my pimpin'. And the reason why it hits different is because the party that you're aligned with, we've heard them objectively speak this way. And for the Republicans who don't talk like this, that's not who I am, well, now it's time for you to stand the hell up and show that. Y'all ignorance got us into this, so yes, y'all have to play a hand in getting us out of this. And Amir has the opportunity again to educate his own community, his own fan base, his own support group about this. And even when he went again to that craziest, wildest, motherfucking girls going wild, Haggots going wild edition, trainees going wild, Nikes going wild, Transformers going wild, Pride event and festival with the floats and shit. He learned more about the community that he was demonizing, because again, he wasn't really going to Pride events. Then he went to this one and was amongst them, was so afraid to go that he had to hire a bodyguard. And again, shout out to that nigga, because he got a free day of paid work, girl. You got paid for free work, girl. How you get fired on your day off, girl? How you get blessed on your day off should be the question. No shade. It's just like baffling me, because it's like, you sat up here, went inside here, you were able to talk to other people. You were trying to find people who you could go back and forth with. And even with the evidence that you had, you tried to work with what you had, and it was piss poor and pitiful, because again, it was a learning experience. And then when we look at the comment section, especially at the most recent comments, there was nobody in the comments saying they learned anything from you to be able to understand the queer community's plight, understand your plight, let alone respecting and humanizing queer people. They stated what MAGA, what white conservatives, and even black conservatives, they end up regurgitating the same ish. And my ninja, you are playing into that same level of ignorance, of fear, of misinformation. Because now when black people do and stage a walkout for ICE, I'd rather they motherfucking walk out for ICE and throw motherfucking laptops than unalive each other like y'all claim that's happening in mass, which, no shade, that is a problem in the black community. And we definitely need to deal with that. Because if you see my content, I talk about both sides of the situation. But see, I've studied to show myself approved, and there's still more studying that I need to do. But I have a strong foundation, not the weak one that Amir is talking about. Funny, a person talking about weak foundation, but meanwhile their arguments are built off on weak shit. because you're getting your information from right-leaning people who don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, nor are they educated. But you're the individual who is being put out in the forefront. You're the individual as the shield, so you're going to have to do the job and the work of a shield. Can't complain when the goddamn swords come against the shield.
They ain't. Unless it's in like a really, really good district, maybe. But no, what is this? At what point will parents, truly parents, sit their children down and explain to them from a very rational and sane point of view of like, okay, here's exactly what's going on. Here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that. That would be ideal. But what we have is an institution, mainstream media, mainstream Hollywood, that's so against ICE and so just takes in whatever MSNBC says, whatever CNN says, whatever like the top liberal content creators say, and running with it. They're not even like paying attention or even thinking about, why are they trying to come here in the first place? What exactly am I protesting? Why am I actually angry at ICE? What is ICE doing that is so wrong and so bad that I have to go out here and scream in the streets, but I'm not even doing that for the average criminal in my town anyways? Two people who lacked personal responsibility, who lacked context clues, put themselves in horrible positions with armed officers, and they end up dying. And people are protesting and acting buck and acting a fool over that more than their local drug dealer, than their local assassin, all the crimes and murder. Like people in Chicago, y'all going to an ICE protest, but y'all silent about Chirac? Really? Again, performative. You're only mad at the current thing to be mad at. Whatever you're being told, hey, go march about this. Hey, we're upset about this. We need you to use your voice. You just follow it. Sheep. 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 You're just going out there following the herd. Like, what do I need to do? You need to lead for yourself. You need to lead for yourself. You need to at least understand why you feel the way you feel. But acting this crazy, acting this dumb is not it.
And I didn't pause it. That's the end of the video because there's only part one. Because there's more. Amir, when you put out your content, and especially when you start speaking more honestly like this, that's how I know and I'm consistently affirmed about how much my video essay really ate in reference to how you show up publicly as Amir Odom. And again, as I continue to learn more about your origin story, how this came to be, it makes sense on why you respond the way that you respond. You are giving your supporters a distraction from what it is they need to focus on. You speak about protecting children. You speak about protecting women. You speak about protecting life. Meanwhile, this administration is actively destroying its own people, and not just its own people, but other countries. And I realize that until people start having conversations or true awareness about their own fucking mortality, people are not going to get it until it happens to them. And that is the sad part. There are files that have been released that exposes the elite both on the left and the right. All these people in high positions of power being exposed. Y'all so worried about a trans person, but y'all not even vetting people for as far as their history and how they've worked with their history to be able to be in positions of power to control the fate of all of us. But I get it. we still have to live. We still have to maneuver. We still have to pick the kids up. We still have to pay the bills. We have to still cook dinner. We have to still do this. We have to still do that. We still have to plan and live amidst all this. I wonder what's going to happen when all this shit is shut the fuck down. I wonder what's going to happen when the internet is shut the fuck down. I wonder what's going to happen when the the power grid goes down. I wonder what's going to happen when all of those ICE detention facilities are established, and as we can see, ICE vehicles are now being transported around the country, and there are everyday Americans. We're not talking about people, take shit off my ear because this shit kind of hurt. We're not talking about individuals who work for MSNBC. We're not talking about individuals who work for the media conglomerate, which is being bought by the people on the right. We're not talking about all these people who have the hundreds of millions and billions and possibly trillions of dollars to be able to have control over media. We're talking about independent people, everyday people like you and I, who will go out into the world and see for themselves and document. And because the internet is not, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to find a word, but because it's not in a set type of way, it's very free flowing. We get all this information in a matter of seconds. Millions of views in the matter of minutes on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, on all these other platforms. It's being shared so fast that it can't be regulated. That's the word I'm looking for. It can't be regulated. All this information is coming out. All this truth is coming out. And you dare to sit up there and say, well, what I think parents should do is just tell them the cookie cutter, cute, simple Santa Claus, motherfucking Easter Bunny version of this is what's happening, this is what's happening, when they can look on their phones and see what's happening for themselves. Because like you said, think for yourself, right? But you want the parents to think for the child, but shouldn't the child think for itself, especially if he has information? There are things that children, unfortunately, during this time, had to go through and deal with. You see all the school outings that's happening? Children have to learn, unfortunately, that is a new normal because we're still demonizing people. Y'all talk so much about mental health, but y'all want to take away funding to help people with mental health. You talk about all these problems and these issues, but you want to then take away and be stingy and hold on to all of the resources that can help to change the reality of their mental health into something better, that can strengthen it. But I can talk about this all day, and it would seem like it is the case because my content, I do long form content. I like to take my time and really sit and digest with stuff. And I'm sorry for the people who have short attention spans or have the IQ of a river shrimp. Y'all not gonna be able to rock with my content. Everything can't be solved in a matter of 30 to 60 minutes. Because if that was the case, it would have already been solved. This is some deep, integrated, solidified structure that we're dealing with here. Infrastructure. The system is doing a factory reset. It's doing a factory reset. And it ain't just here in America. They are attacking other places, and we see this. We see the images of what's happening over there. And the fucked up part is that America feels like it's exempt, as if though we haven't had tanks and all that type of shit run and I mean, not tanks run, but the army people running and the tanks driving and the trucks driving through American streets, primarily in those black plate spaces and neighborhoods, really over there. But now it's happening to the America who felt like they were exempt, the America who felt like they were above it, the America who can say, oh, what's happening over there is sad, but let me continue to scroll and look at puppies. Oh, that's sad, but how was school today? How was work today? Because it's not your reality. No, now America especially the people who consider themselves real Americans, now their American dream is being interrupted and they're seeing an American nightmare. And it's not by the trans people. It's not by the drag queens, not by the queer people, it's not by the blacks. Because no shade, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If black people really want to fuck white America up, baby, we would have been done it. And we low-key would have heaven and earth on our side. No shade, black people have every reason to Hulk smash in this bitch. Black people have every right to go the fuck off. But instead of going the fuck off on white America, what do? We go the fuck off on ourselves. Because when you've been conditioned to believe that niggas ain't shit all the time, black people ain't shit all the time, eventually some people are gonna start drinking the Kool-Aid. And they start harming each other. And then the people who benefit from the deaths and the destruction of the black community can then turn around, ratchet around, and sit up here and blame it on the people. See, I told you those black people were dangerous. They were evil. Haven't we not seen a very famous, popular conservative white creator who said that if you're around white people, there's a little bit of danger. But when you're around them ninjas, you're in a greater amount of danger? Didn't we just listen to Amir say that these black people doing the ice walkout, throwing laptops and shit and doing all this type of shit? Wasn't no shootings, no ootings. Wasn't nobody getting stabbed. It was a group of ninjas and nobody lost their life, thank God. But because they were standing on accord in reference to how they've been treated. Because the way that this American government is treating Latino people and other groups of people, Muslim people, all this stuff, this ain't nothing new to ninjas. Ninjas were the first children of corrupted Destiny's children. Girl, we like the mother, I forgot her name, girl. We like home girl. We didn't leave, girl. I don't need my suitcase, bitch. Fuck it. I can buy clothes at the thing. I'm going with y'all. And Beyonce, shut your ass up. You get popped in the mouth. You ain't the Beyonce you are now, girl, Miss Mamas. You just started. Do you hear what I'm saying? This shit is just so crazy to me. But, yeah, let me see what y'all say in the comments real quick. We got the Black Anarchist podcast is going on, pimping. I wish I knew you were live. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but that's why I say I need for y'all to also share the content. If you ain't gonna contribute to the platform via Cash App, which no shade, I understand. But if you can, Cash App $ Conscious TV. Send it to Conscious TV. If you want to bless the Kang, a super chat is cool, but I would prefer the Cash App because I gotta wait to get the money from YouTube, girl. I gotta get to a $100 threshold, and I'm not there yet. I gotta continue to make content, girl. Unfortunately, no matter where I am on this fucking planet, you have to play the game a little bit. But I'm gonna play the fuck out this game, bitch. And get what's mine. No shade. And then share it. But if you want to share with the Leprechaun, you can definitely hit that Cash App $ Conscious TV. CONSCIOUZ TV. And put in the message, send to BubzDaGawd, okay? No shade. You want to bless me? You want to put something in my Leprechaun pot, girl? I'm with it, baby. You see I'm almost, I finished smoking. I got a little bit of this left. And I got 2 more of these bitches. If you want to be like, hey, Bubs, I see you over there smoking your pre-rolls, girl, because I do like Cali Blaze, girl. It's infused. No shade. So, if you like, hey, Bubs, I see you be over, hey, daddy. Hey, little daddy. Little big daddy. I see you be over there smoking your stuff or whatever on live. And they be turning me on and shit. So, let me go ahead and here go $20. Girl, go get you a few more so that we can get your ass on live, girl, and be high. And you can stutter and shit and make us laugh while also educating us and getting mad and angry while we can sit over here and lust after you even though we love you. You can definitely do that. Again, Cash App, $ Conscious TV. But if you definitely want to support in other ways, you can do it by liking and you also can do it by sharing. And share my content in spaces where it's going to cause a little friction. Because I want to hear what the other side is saying. I don't want echo chamber conversations. I have that enough. I'm ready to have conversations with other people, but other people who think differently than me, but understand the same energetic foundation, shall I say, of humanity And again, I believe that Amir has it deep down inside of him. Because when I saw that PragerU video and he broke down, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm an emotional ass nigga. I don't allow my emotions to control me. Because if that was the case, I would not be here right now. I would have been did some crazy shit. But because I am a human being and I am empathic, I can feel people's pain. And I did not want to laugh at Amir's pain because that's not funny. Because what he experienced, I also experienced. So how can I sit up here and talk about my life experience, about me wanting to unalive myself as a child, but yet laugh and make fun of somebody else's experience while I also call myself an activist? But it all makes sense on why he stands where he stands now. Because black people have treated him bad. He wasn't quote unquote black enough. Even though, according to society, and because you are a darker skinned man, you are black. That's how society will see you. And again, I was once in your shoes. But at the same time, even though this is where you're at, you're allowing these people to literally have reigns over your traumatic experiences with black people and the queer community, to where you feel so much affirmation and love and being one of the chosen ones or the model minority, that again in history we have seen people do what you're doing right now, and once their job was completed, they let them the fuck go. And I just wonder how it's going to feel for Amir when that time comes. He has another video that he did talking about how Candace Owens just does it for him, and maybe I need to watch that too. But I need a break from Amir tonight because I felt like 2 hours of change is a lot. Especially I try to give y'all some content because I'm still working on my other long form content and projects for this month. But again, just like with Ron Vugada, I know that behind the scenes, like for example, if I had the honor and privilege to have a conversation with Amir privately first, I feel like we would have so much in common. It wouldn't be no, fuck you then, bitch. It wouldn't be any of that. I feel like we would be able to reach each other's humanity because, again, the cameras ain't on, at least for him. Because I know that he got to put on the front for his people. But I know that if we were to have a conversation one-on-one, I feel like I would be able to get more information from him. That's what I did with Ron. And Ron Vugada is a dope-ass person. And no shade, this be the sad part that hurt me. When it come down to individuals who be like, I don't want that gay shit on me, I don't want that gay shit on me, it always be the most unattractive ass niggas. But I have a few types, and one of my types is I'm attracted to black men who happen to also be attracted to like white men. Because no shit, like I said, Amir is not ugly by far. Amir is a very handsome, beautiful chocolate being. You know what I'm saying? And then we saw his body with the arms and stuff, and I know that ass probably look good too. No shade, I'm just saying. We looking where I can look. I can look. But it's just sad because it's like, and also my previous experiences, like with dating and stuff like that, like I dated a few dudes who were into white guys, and because of what they've been through with black dudes, they would project that onto me and be like, well, I can't be with you even though I was everything other than what the fuck those niggas was to them. Again, like, I went to a predominantly white high school and had white friends and spent the night over there, and they were never racist to me. Doesn't mean they weren't racist to other people, though. I was just one of the good ones. But I also understand that in this administration, they don't give a fuck if you're one of the good ones. You need to shut the fuck up and comply, because that's what a good person would do. And we've seen in history that even when people do comply, there's always some bullshit. Wow. The Thomas says, yep, we have to keep fighting laterally against each other. when the struggle is vertical class war. And this is why they're going to continue to do what they're doing. That's why they're going to continue to implement new laws. They're going to continue to take money away from us. They're going to continue to tell us what they're going to do with things. Again, the same people who were saying that they don't want the queer, trans shit in the classrooms are now putting 10 Commandments and Bibles in classrooms and want to do that. The people that are demonizing us are literally the ones that are manifesting the destruction that they claim we're doing. And sometimes I be thinking to myself, and I say this sometimes to like my inner circle, it'd be like, because of this level of awareness that I have, it could be somewhat of a lonesome or like tiring experience, because like they say, the more knowledge you know, sometimes the more depressed you can be, because it's like people not seeing this. We have learned from history, especially with Nazi Germany, of how there were certain groups of people that started off being enemies of the state, and how it never was really just that, and then that was it. America's good, the Nazis good, we're Germany's good, we're cool, like we're smooth good, like there's nothing wrong, we just trimmed off the fat. No, they have to find another enemy. They have to find another enemy. They have to find somebody else to judge. They have to find somebody else to demonize. And it changes. It went from Guatemalan gang members, which, no shade, if there are Guatemalan gang or not Guatemalan, Venezuelan, excuse me, if they're Venezuelan gang members, I'm surprised they're not going to war with other gangs in that area, because it would have been some niggas that would have been shooting them up. But you're saying these are dangerous cartel, just narcissistic, just bloodshows.com ass type of people, girl. And yet, ICE unalive 2 Americans. They didn't unalive the dangerous Venezuelan criminals. They unalived 2 Americans and 2 white Americans, and Amir justified that by saying that these individuals didn't follow the rules, and this is what happens to them. That's very fucking scary when ICE is not doing their job correctly, and they have full free reign to be judge, jury, and executioner. How the fuck do y'all have the millions of dollars, have the training, have the weaponry, but y'all get to be more afraid than the people that you're aiming your weapons at? How the fuck does that work? How do you get to be the motherfucking perpetrator and the victim at the same time? How does that work? How does that work? And fuck the ones who were unalived. What about the videos we've seen of people of ICE pointing weapons at civilians? Pointing weapons. Okay? All type of weaponry and shit at people in their faces. Punching people. And if the police is doing this, y'all don't think that ICE ain't doing that? You have a bunch of white people in the street who have never been in the street like this. They sure weren't in the streets like this for BLM. But the reason why they're in the streets now is because they realize that ICE is coming after Americans. What do we not get here? And the Black Anarchist says low self-esteem. No shade. And make sure y'all check out the Black Anarchist podcast, because he went to another panel and I'm like, shit, no shade. I might have to talk to the Black Anarchist podcast and ask him where he be going, because he be finding all these platforms where it be other people on the other side. That's what I'm talking about, girl. Could we go to other platforms and other spaces and places and talk? Because I'm cool being here at my house, but I want to go to other people's houses and hear what the hell they saying. And the Black Anarchist podcast went over and checked the fuck clocked the hook out of somebody to where he was factually true. Came through. And somebody thought because they were a lawyer and passed the bar that they knew more. When being a lawyer, all you have to do is retain information and know how to apply the information. It's not like they have a higher fucking IQ. They read. And again, there are people who are learning from this experience. And this individual tried to control his fucking narrative. And he got up there and low-key let his ass have it. Not in a way that is considered negative. But to let him have it in a way that, you know, helped him to like understand, but still was able to still stand on business. So make sure y'all subscribe to the Black Anarchist Podcast. Make sure y'all purchase his book, Blame It on the Dress, as well as he gonna be so mad at me because I need to get that book too. But his most recent book that he came up with, or created, shall I say, make sure y'all check that out as well. Make sure y'all check out chapter 1 of Blame It on the Dress here on my platform. Chapter 2 is dropping this month, so make sure y'all check that out. The Odd Time, it says, like Bay said, a whole lot of playing victim and the villain at the same time. What's going on? Hi, Ann Land. Hope all is well with you. Glad to have you in the building. But yeah, I want to come through real quick with this live. I'm going to be busy for the rest of the week or whatever. But I wanted to make sure that I came in with a live. Again, I'm still working on chapter 2 of Blame It on the Dress, and then I'm going to be dropping an acting monologue at the end of this month. I'm hoping, if anything, the beginning of April, because I kind of want to show what I got. And I know that there are people, like when I continue to do this, that the universe is going to bring in the resources and the people and the connections that I need to like really go forward in what it is that I want to do. Because I've low-key been preparing myself and been doing this ish for the longest time now. I've been creating for myself and others for the longest time now. And now I'm ready to make this one of my full-time stuff. I'm ready to edit full-time. I'm ready to be a content creator full-time. I'm ready to collaborate full-time. I'm ready to do activism work. I'm ready to explore music. I'm ready to explore acting and film. I'm ready to explore all these things. And one thing that I'm learning how to do is to be the change that I want to see. Until the universe sends me the team that I need that's going to be consistent, no shade, I'm going to be consistent with me. That's all I can do is be consistent with me. I'm sure High Inland will remember this song. Yes, but that was fun. That was fun. No shade. Because again, I remember I did a document. I recorded for the artist for this song, and I was there when they actually did the recording or whatever. So, but yes, your channel is growing quick. Thank you, and I hope it continues to. By y'all liking, by y'all sharing, by y'all commenting, engaging it, by y'all using y'all hype points on my projects. It helps the channel to grow. And no shade, the only way that my channel is going to grow is because I have to connect with other people. I don't want to be the only one that's winning. I want my team winning. I want the Black Anarchists to win. I want Deshaun to win, T Queen Stevie. No shade, I low-key want Amir to win. But I want us to win in a way that's actually beneficial, not just for us, but other people too. Oh, you don't hear the instrumental of the beat? Living Like Assassins. I got the instrumental in the background. You don't hear that? You might have to put in your headphones to hear it. But yeah, is there anything that y'all like to ask me or discuss before we get off? Because no shade, it's 1:30 in the morning. And I have to get myself mentally prepared for what I got to do the rest of this week, girl. Like, when I tell you that I am so ready for shit to change. And I mean change and I'm trying to let go of how that change will come. But I know that just I'm ready for that. I'm ready for a new experience. And it's happening. It's happening. It's manifesting before me. It's just I'm at this place where it's like I'm ready for the physical manifestation to like really, really hit. But I'm also grateful for the opportunity to be able to learn before I get to that point. Because I know my content is good. I know I'm an amazing content creator. I'm an amazing creator in general. No shade. No shade. I wish you would do a class on video editing. I would pay for that. Okay, you know what? I might have to do that because I recently did work for another content creator by the name of Faith is the Substance. Make sure y'all subscribe to her dope ass commentary. I like her channel. I be listening sometimes, especially when some of the drama shit be happening, because I be like a little nosy. But I love how she responds to it. I love how she made me feel welcomed. And I did an editing intro for her for one of her most popular interviews or interviewees to date, which is an individual by the name of Wealthy Jeff, who is popular on TikTok, Instagram, social media, content creator. Him and his beautiful wife, gorgeous wife. I did a video intro for them, and she was like, "Oh my God, this is so amazing! Like, you gonna have to teach me how to do this." So I think I might do that. Now we might have to talk on the back end, the Black Anarchist, because I'm willing to talk to you about a price. Because I can get you on StreamYard and I can show you personally how I do that. And I've also was thinking about like maybe like doing that for like my members. Because now that my channel is eligible to have members on it and like member tiers, maybe I can do that as well. And maybe I'll start with doing that as far as Blame It on the Dress Chapter 2, just showing you what I do in the process for that and what that looks like. But what I will say is that you're going to have to download CapCut, and you're going to have to get CapCut Pro, which I think is what, like $20-$25 a month. It's worth it. It's worth it. They have so many transitions and effects and all that other type of stuff. And then I will show y'all exactly what I do, because I screen record, screenshot, girl. I download videos, bitch. I motherfucking alter songs and transpose songs. Like, there's a whole production aspect behind this. And I do think it would be smart for content creators. And Kenny said create an e-course. I'm gonna need help with that. A high-end land, no shade. And I gotta realize with certain things, I'm gonna have to stop being proudful and just say I need help on. There are still some toxic masculine things that I'm learning how to let go of myself, because I'm so used to giving and giving and giving and giving. I need to learn how to receive too. So I'm gonna definitely need help with that, because there are people saying that they would pay for that. But until then, until I was able to get that e-course together or whatever, if you want to learn as soon as possible, hit me up in on Gmail. Just send me an email, the Black Anarchist Podcast, and we can talk about pricing. And I'm very reasonable. I'm very, very reasonable, and I'll be able to help you with a lot of stuff like that. And then eventually, I'll create an e-course or something like that, because there are ways that my finances can become a lot better than what it is now with my gifts and talents. And that's kind of what my vision board this year has been about. And no shade, some of the things my vision board has already come to pass, which is like gagging me, but it's like inspiring me to do it more. And no shade, vision boards. And I would tell y'all what I do with my vision board, but that's my secret. But a lot of that stuff is starting to manifest. And like I said, on my vision board, I want to be able to have more collaborations, more productive, lucrative collaborations. I've learned a lot of things over the past in reference to editing, storytelling, all that type of stuff. And I'm ready to collaborate with people and utilize my gifts. And if I don't know how to do it, I can find out. And that's one element that I will say, or one thing that I would tell you, like once you guys start learning how to do the basics of editing, you're going to have to really like feel it. Because when I create things, I don't have like a finished version of what it's going to be like. Yeah, and then on top of that, I want y'all to understand that editing is a process. In order for me to create the content that I create, it takes hours just for me to be able to do like 20 minutes worth of editing. That's like maybe 2-3 days, especially with the way that I edit, because I'm very particular about things. I'm very anal. I mean, I'm a top about things. So it's kind of like I will go over it again and again and again. I'm kind of like Beyonce in a sense, like, okay, I don't mind if we're gonna sit here and watch this bitch 12 times. It gotta hit me in my spirit. You know what I'm saying? And y'all gonna have to learn how to do that. But once you learn how to do that, you'll find shortcuts on how to do it. And then on top of that, when you get to a point to where you possibly want to create a team, you can then show somebody what it is that you're looking for. Instead of just telling them, you can say, nope, do this, add this, see how this works. And then we do this, try this here. Okay, cool. Then you can focus on other things, also knowing that your visuals are going to be good. But yes, I believe every content creator should be a creator. No shade. When I tell you this woman right here, high-end land, baby, the work ethic that this woman has is incredible. This woman does all type of stuff, and if y'all want to support high-end, girl, put your Instagram and your store name in there as well. She has a independent company called Loves Crafts. She makes homemade crafts, baby. She's an event planner, baby. She can do your hair. She is so multi-talented, okay? And watching her transform and stuff like that is very inspiring, especially when you got a partner that love you, girl, and help you, give you hope and stuff. But it's like she does a lot. So there are ways to make money off of this. I also have to learn the business aspect because I'm so much into the humanitarian aspect. I know that I can be taken advantage of. So it's like I have to learn the business aspect, and that's one area that I'm very ignorant in. I could be sitting here talking shit and somebody probably bought my damn domain name and shit like that, girl, but I have ways to get it back. Bitch, I know people, girl. It ain't gotta be the means of physical, girl. I'm talking about energetically speaking, bitch. You gonna be wanting to give it back to me, and I'm gonna tell your ass no until I feel ready, girl. So that you know that you shouldn't play with BubzDaGawd shit like that, bitch. Especially when my ass out here doing real deal, holy trill feel shit. Cause baby, karma don't play about me. Nor do the people who love me and know the thing of the things of the things of the things don't play about me either. But I do need to learn more about, I ain't gonna say that, but people will believe that that's that. All this is karma work, girl. Let me shut the hell up. I'm just saying. But yes, that's it, y'all. Anything that y'all want to continue to say before I go? I would be interested in a panel discussion. Panel discussion where on your platform? Because I know you've been trying to have panel discussions. And I'll be upset because I'll be missing your lives. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be trying to catch the replays and share your content. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, no shade. Oh shit. The Black Anarchist Podcast. When I read that book, Blame It on the Dress. Baby, I think it was chapter 9 of the last chapter. I was like, girl, I never thought I would have somebody have me somewhat on the fence when it come down to children, my own children. Because I'm an individual, and like I said, I'm on the fence because I would want to eventually have children someday. But if this is the reality in the world that children are coming into, baby, I'm not going to feed the beast more children. Again, we have the Epstein files where motherfuckers are talking about doing very crazy, lewd, and lascivious shit that Hollywood, in some instances, girl, were literally showing us what happens behind the scenes with people who are of the elite and how it can be your daughter, your son, hell, maybe even you, that nobody is exempt. My new book is about all that. See, I'm already trying to finish Blame on the Dress. I might have to do another dark, dramatic interpretation of that. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do dramatic, dark interpretations of the Black Anarchist books. It's hella promo for him, and it's hella exposure for me. But now that we talking about possible money being involved, I'm really about to be like, nigga, what you need? You need voiceovers? What you need? Because I do voiceovers. You need editing? Because I got that. You need some sort of picture graphic designing? Because I got that. Not like graphic designer for real, but like AI generated shit or whatever. I got that. So it's kind of like, no shade. I'm going to have to do something, baby, because I'm all about collaboration, baby. And resources is a part of it. Baby, I put in, even my sister told me, I be shortchanging myself. I do because I care about humanity, but I also got to care about me. Okay, and again, if y'all want to go ahead and bless the leprechaun, y'all can hit the Cash App $Conscious TV CONSCIOUZ TV and put in the message. This is for BubzDaGawd. No shade. Okay. But yes. Now, as far as my giveaway, When I did my Amir Odom video essay, I stated in the beginning of the video essay that I mentioned 42 a certain number of times. If you can find out and discover the approximate times that I say 42 and you put it in the comments, you will be in the first 5 people to put it in the comments will be entered into a giveaway to win a free piece of merch for BubzDaGawd. Ain't nobody did it yet. So I guess y'all don't want the free shit. That's fine. I'll take it. Or hell, I might have to give it to Deshaun, because Deshaun is the one that be sharing my shit. Deshaun the one that be sending me Cash App and Super Chats. Matter of fact, girl, fuck a giveaway. Deshaun is the winner. God damn it. Deshaun, I'm gonna have to get your information, nigga, and then we'll figure out the size of what you wear, and we're gonna try to send you something, because Deshaun won by default. It's almost been a month. I said after 1 week I was gonna pick somebody. It's about to be a damn month. 3 weeks and some change. This is my video essay out. And I appreciate y'all watching and editing. And commenting. Because I want y'all to engage. But y'all missed the free part. So since y'all missed the free part, Deshaun gonna win by default. I'm gonna talk to him and get his information, girl, and I'm gonna work with High End Land, because High End Land is the one that is the creator of all these things. No shade. So I'm gonna get with you on that. So we already have a winner for the giveaway, because I already gave him a chance and nobody won it. I ain't about to beg y'all to participate in something. If y'all don't want free shit, I'll choose. Okay? Thank you. But I guess that's it for tonight. So with that being said, y'all, I thank y'all so much for rocking with me on tonight's live. Thank y'all so much. If you can, please make sure you hit that like button, because it helps the channel to grow on the algorithms. We are over 1,500 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, not 50. Oh, we're at 1,500. No, we not. We like 11. Let me see. Where we at? Where we at? Oh, my bad. We're 1,168, girl. 1,168 subscribers. Okay, on the road to motherfucking 2K or whatever else after this. Okay, so y'all hitting the like button helps the channel to do that. So thank you. Please make sure y'all comment, whether it's during the live chat or in the comment section afterwards, because it helps this channel. The more engagement I get, the more open my channel becomes, available my channel becomes for other people to see what I'm giving. No shade. If there's anything in my commentary that I've said that you agree with, disagree with, you want to just read me, roast me, whatever the case may be, I don't give a damn. You can use this live or any of the content on my platforms. Just make sure that you tag me, BubzDaGawd, so that I know that it's real. Okay, and again, like I said, if you want to bless the leprechaun and put a little bit of coin in the pot of gold, you can definitely hit that Cash App, $Conscious TV, CONSCIOUZ TV. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Shout out to, of course, the Black Anarchist Podcast. And we can plan a panel discussion, but I would prefer for it to be in April, no shade, because March is gonna be a little bit busy. So I would prefer to be able to do that sometime in the future. But it would be dope to have you on the panel. And also too, come to Conscious TV, because Conscious TV has panel discussions a lot. So if he goes live, I'll share it on my community tab. So just go ahead and join us for a panel discussion, because I think it would be dope to have, I know it would be dope to have you up there, because again, I like people who think, I like people who read, I like people who educate, because I'm not the smartest person in the room. I still want to learn. And unlike other people, I'm going to learn, because information and knowledge is power and the key. Okay. So again, shout out to the Black Anarchist Podcast. Shout out to High End Land for being in the building. Shout out to the Odd Thomas being in the building. Shout out to King Harold, King Deshaun, who is the winner of the giveaway. Shout out to Kenneth being in the building. Shout out to T for T, who's going to catch the replay, girl. Shout out to A True Libra for being in the building and engaging in the commentary. Shout out to Aries in the building. Shout out to DJ The Truth TV in the building. Shout out to, I'm trying to make sure I get everybody. I think that's everybody. Yep, I already said Aries. Queen Spicy. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Darius D 2003. Okay. Shout out to those of you in the bushes. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to Amir Because, nigga, I believe you've seen a few of my content. And if you have, I wouldn't mind having a conversation like I said. We can start off having a private conversation because I feel like that would be more comfortable for you. Okay? And then I wouldn't mind having a public conversation because, again, if you're about finding the gray area and finding the middle ground, I'm going to need you to use more than just ground news. I'm going to need you to be on the ground, boots on the ground, talking to the people who are out here having these conversations, okay? So anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, everybody, until next time, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Peace.
I can be anything I choose in this round. We are a sound vibration too deep to tell.